There we go. What is going on, YouTube? I'm your host, Leon Gunstall, and I'm here with JT Vega, that Norwegian guy, and Nurgle.
Nurgle.
Okay, men, a few words. Okay, today, this morning around, I think, 8 o'clock Mountain Time, which is 7 o'clock Pacific Time, I learned about a Fallout. I learned about someone actually sent me on. Someone actually posted on Skype a thing that showed Fallout.Bethesda.com, and they just said watch this, and I clicked on it and stuff, and it shows a countdown clock. At the time, it was like 23 hours, and now it's give me a second here. Let me look at it. Now it's at 10 hours. Actually, it's like exactly like 10:50. I'll just say when it's like 10. But this countdown clock just started, and it's going down. It's like an old-fashioned please stand by timer. And and this is on Fallout.Bethesda.com. So, what do you guys think about this?
I'll let y'all talk since
Well,
y'all are the big Fallout
to be honest with you,
fans.
I'm surprised by it because we've been expecting a lot of things to happen this year, and it's not it's not the only game that's out that's going to probably come out for Bethesda. There's probably going to be some more IPs that are possibly they're going to bring out.
Well, like 2016, we're supposedly going to be finally seeing actual gameplay footage of. No, actually, this month we're supposed to see actual footage of the upcoming Doom.
Yeah,
reboot.
10
Yeah.
hours. 10 hours left. It just hit
That's
the
a
10-hour mark.
Bethesda.
It just hit the 10-hour mark, so we have 10 hours left before we know what actually is going on. I'm really unknown about the whole situation about what they're going to do, so yeah. So one of the things I've noticed, it's like one thing I have a feeling on is they might pull what Ubisoft did with Assassin's Creed Syndicates, like we're counting down the time before we actually reveal this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering here, because E3 they show the gameplay trailers and stuff. I'm wondering, they might do I'm not sure yet. We're not so sure about this yet, but I have a feeling on this. Is that I said this in my video earlier today, that they're probably going to do like a reveal trailer, like a little short reveal trailer. Even if it says like Fallout 4 coming, and it just shows like the Fallout music playing. Or something like that. Fallout 4 coming soon, like that, or just something like that, or reveal Fallout 4 coming to E3. I'm expecting something like that. That's the least of what I'm expecting, or even a picture of Fallout 4.
When does the actual E3 begin?
You got that right, JT?
Mm-hmm.
What day did the Bethesda? I know they do it a day before everyone else.
I believe it would be on the 14th.
14th, okay. So
Let
it's
me check.
it's almost in like 2 weeks, basically.
Well, then there probably are going to release some type of Fallout-esque teaser, and then
Yeah.
the actual reveal, the actual
Yeah.
trailer is going to be revealed at E3.
They
Yeah,
might do something. It could show like an abandoned vault or something,
Let's see.
like they usually do with Fallout games. So I'm not surprised at all if they do that.
Actually, they'll probably reveal it on the 15th or 16th.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. And I mean, I've seen a lot of the jokes people are making saying, oh, watch them just reveal Fallout 3 HD remake or some shit like that.
I don't think
you know,
that's going to be
this
the
They're also
case.
time-
expecting Final Fantasy. They're also expecting Tomb Raider. That's the
Yeah.
one thing that they're expecting at
Yeah,
E3.
but Fallout 4, the reason why Bethesda would do something like this is they're done. They said they were complete with Skyrim a couple years ago. They just said in the thing, they said we're done with Skyrim. We're done working on it and stuff like that. They said that we are done with Skyrim. We are officially done with Skyrim like that. We're officially done working on it. So they only did 2 DLC this time for that game, when they usually do like 4 or 5 DLC for each game. So that could tell you that they were trying to move resources over to the Fallout game. So this is what I'm expecting them. They're gonna Fallout 4 is coming and stuff, and they know the longevity of their games. Heck, Morrowind is still being bought by people for the mods. I mean, Morrowind can still get mod. I saw MXR do a mod, MMOX review, or MXR, the Skyrim modder. I saw him do a mod review on Morrowind. There are a lot of mods on Oblivion. I mean, Oblivion hasn't aged that well. Neither has Fallout New Vegas. Even with, if you see my video from earlier today, you would know that Fallout New Vegas hasn't aged that well either. So yeah, I'm not expecting much.
I'm hoping things would.
I actually, wait a minute. I'm saying I've got that word mixed up. I'm expecting a lot from Bethesda because they're making a new IP. The Fallout and Elder Scrolls series are basically their bread and butter. That's their major series, kind of like how Assassin's Creed is for Ubisoft or Call of Duty is for Activision. This game right here, as Elder Scrolls and Fallout, that's their major games. So it's like every now and then they'll release because they've started with Fallout 3 and they said Fallout 3 is not going to be the only game in the series. We're planning on doing more because they took that license. They got the license. They acquired the license for the Fallout games. And Black Isle Studio, I remember they were trying to make an online game, and Bethesda won in a lawsuit, and they had to cancel Fallout Online, which I'm kind of saying good riddance because online games suck.
Not all online games suck, but
Look at what happened with Elder
I'm
Scrolls.
tired of seeing great IPs that are definitely single-player games getting turned into MMOs.
Yes, Elder Scrolls
getting
Online.
I mean,
Yes.
Elder Scrolls, I've heard Elder Scrolls is actually not that bad now, but I know when it
controls are
came out, it
good.
was pretty horrid.
It still is. The controls are kind of like Skyrim, but it's like everything is. It's so annoying.
Let's
like,
put it this way: they're gonna put it on. They're gonna put it on Xbox One. They're gonna put it on PlayStation 4, not on Wii U. So be thankful.
Yes.
But you mean we're not going to get a gimped version of the game?
But you know what? No one but Bethesda. How many glitches are going to be in this game?
Well, the thing is that there's a lot of new IPs that I'm expecting to see happen. One, I'm hoping to see. Let's see. The announcement for on Nintendo side. Xenoblade Saga Chronicle. I think it was Xenoblade or
Xenosaga or something like that. I know what you're talking about.
Xenoblade Xeno Chronicle. I think it was Xenosaga Chronicles
actually.
X, which is what they're trying to. And I'm hoping to see that. And there's also Tomb Raider, which a lot of people are hoping to see.
Yeah.
You mean the Xbox exclusive Tomb Raider?
Mm-hmm.
The one that I will never get to play for a very long time.
Yeah.
Is it officially straight up exclusive, or is it time?
But the Tomb Raider, it's a time exclusive.
Yeah, it probably will be an exclusive. Same with there's also a rumor going around that there's going to be another exclusive for Xbox One.
Of course, Sony is screwing up right now. They're arrogant on their high
they're not
horses
screwing up. They're actually doing pretty well. They actually
they're not having any
Xbox,
but they're not having any first party exclusives from their
games
they did this year. No, they're not coming up.
They won't, but they will be getting a lot of good games this year.
To be honest with you, Sony's PS4 is, if I'm not mistaken, now I haven't seen the numbers in a while, but if I'm not mistaken, it's still outselling the X1.
Yeah.
If the numbers are still high above what they've been expecting over this time, why do they need first parties? I mean, most of the games, a lot of people are going for the PS4 version of 4.
Well, there's a reason why that we're upset with the Order 1886.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, especially the reviews. The game wasn't that bad. It's just that a lot of the reviewers were like, okay, the only issue that they had with it was the glitches.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I thought the biggest issue that everybody had with it was the enormous amount of cutscenes and the difficulty.
Yeah,
that was so easy.
That too, but it was also the glitches that you'll encounter in the game. I encountered some of the glitches that can easily be fixed with a freaking simple restart. But even trying to dodge the werewolves gets repetitive.
Yeah, what I've seen is like there's you're on a cutscene, stuff like that, a very long cutscene can't skip from, and then it turns into a quick timing event. What I've heard.
Yeah,
I haven't played it. It's like
yeah, but
they
it was
try to make
okay. It wasn't like the best game ever made, but it definitely was okay for a storyline.
It wasn't Uncharted or
No, it wasn't like Uncharted.
or Last of Us.
Well, a lot of people are expecting Uncharted as well. That's
Yeah.
the only rumor that they're bringing out.
Look,
Mhm.
let's
But
just
they're probably
admit.
gonna announce it this year.
Come on, do another Killzone game. Come on, do a
Let's
good
let's
Killzone
just
game.
admit. Killzone wasn't very good. I mean, I enjoyed that game.
The Shadowfall sucked.
Shadowfall was a fun game to me. I liked the single player side of it and I enjoyed it, but I can see why so many people didn't like it as well.
Oh man, it was
It's
horrible.
for
I'm a fan
for
of the series, but I hated that game.
but for what it to me for what now I only last Killzone I played before Shadowfall was the first Killzone. And
Mhm.
now I will say, as for a PS4 exclusive day one release for the PS4, it was a very good game to show off a lot of what the PS4 could do. And that's what was great about it. It did wow you when you first played it because it was like, holy shit, this is so much better than the PS3, what it can do. As far as the game itself goes, yeah, it gets very repetitive and a little boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, because so far the only thing that's actually selling for them is Bloodborne, and that's an exclusive.
No wonder they're going straight for adding an expansion for Bloodborne. And let's face it, Bloodborne is basically the Order 1886 on steroids.
Yeah, except it's more like Dark Souls.
Well,
Alright, I'm
it
doing
was
a
made by the
clarification.
Souls team,
Guys,
so
Yeah.
guys, I'm doing a clarification here. Tomb Raider is a timed exclusive. Clarification,
Yeah.
timed exclusive, not a actual exclusive. It's timed. It's like
Can
Xbox
we?
will keep it for a couple months and then PlayStation gets it.
Okay.
It's important to note that the Rise of the Tomb Raider will also be out on PC at the same time. So it's only exclusive for consoles. It will be
And
a
it's a
PC
timed
release.
console exclusive.
Yeah, it's a timed console exclusive. So so PC owners will be able to play it as well as Xbox One owners.
I always heard rumors that Fallout 4 was going to be an Xbox One exclusive, and I have to say these people are like, oh, it's not going to be on PC, it's not going to be on PlayStation 4, it's only going to be on Xbox for life, bullshit like that. And I tell
Yeah.
them, Bethesda is not going to spit in the face of the PC modding community, you dumbass. They're not
Okay.
going to
There
do it.
might-
They're
the
gonna,
modding community has given them so much, and I highly doubt they would ever alienate
they
them.
tried getting money from the mods. I mean, come on now. They
Exactly.
and they tried taking 75% of the money from the mods. Yeah. So
Now-
yeah, as of what we're talking about right now with Fallout 4, like I'm getting back on the topic of Fallout 4,
Mhm.
what I'm expecting from Fallout 4 is something with like a far more improved version of the Skyrim engine, like a way better version of the Skyrim engine. They might take some notes from us modders with the EMBs we've done and stuff like that, the modding community with the EMBs and the graphical mods, the enhanced 4K textures. They're probably going to take all that stuff, like look at it and stuff, and take notes. I think that's why they let them do the mods, is because they're taking notes. They're taking notes from like the New Vegas anti-crash system for Fallout New Vegas or the anti-crash system for Skyrim. They're taking notes from that, saying this is how they do it. Let's try it this way then. So yeah, Bethesda is like looking at the Nexus. I bet they're like looking at the Nexus like, holy shit. And one thing from Fan Made Project, they actually put in a Fallout New Vegas game during the GRA, the Gunrunners Arsenal mod or DLC they gave out during Fallout New Vegas. There's a weapon called the Nuka Breaker, which is this giant thing which says Nuka Break on it. That was inspired by the fan-made show called Nuka Break. It was called the Nuka Breaker.
Didn't some of the stuff, like some of the expansion stuff for Skyrim, like the Vampire Lord stuff, didn't some of that come from the modders as well? I mean, didn't they get take a lot of stuff from the modders for the
Yeah,
Vampire
they've gotten a lot of inspiration from the modders.
There was there was one specific thing that modders actually did before, and it was really bad timing than anything else. It was the whole build your own house DLC that Bethesda
Oh
tried to sell.
yes,
Yeah, the
Hearthfire.
problem was the problem was that modders actually made a far better
Yeah,
version of that for
I,
free before that thing actually
yeah,
came out.
but the one thing the modders did is they went like, okay, you took our idea, we're taking it back. So they took the resources of like the workbench and stuff like that. So there's like this new one where you can like build an entire town like that, where you build it and you pay it up. It's a new one that just came out. You start out it's only this general store outside of Riften, like right next to Riften and the town that's right at the foot of the mountain where you go to High Hothgar. It's right outside that town, and you're going into this little area. You buy a bunch of stuff, and you use the workbench, and you build up your own mansion, basically, and you build up this town and stuff. It has walls around it and stuff. It's kind of like a little mini. It's kind of like Riverwood that you're building. But they use the deal. They take it back and stuff. So yeah, Bethesda takes the ideas from the modders, but you know what? The modders take it back and use
Well,
it.
you know what though? I mean, in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with them, getting inspiration from what the modders make.
No, because
Because
it
in
makes the
a
game
lot of
better.
ways, as my time with the Skyrim game, a lot of the things that I saw into the modders did was they improved things more than they enhanced or changed things. Like
Mhm.
the better female models. I really liked how they changed the dark elves. I hated how ugly dark elves were. That's part of why I didn't make a dark elf in the game, was because I hated that look for them. Not to mention that what was the other one? The way they changed the vampire mechanics. They had it so bass backwards, and then some modders actually reversed it and made playing a vampire fun and actually entertaining to be a vampire in
Yeah,
the game. For
I
some reason,
actually.
they penalized you in Skyrim for being a vampire, and I
Yeah,
never
you were
understood why.
slow. The Vampire Lord was like the most annoying one because the werewolf moved how I would expect the vampire to move, where the werewolf's just like so quick and stuff. What the Vampire Lord does, it just has a slow hover. And it is so annoying. It's like, you know what? I'm gonna say screw it. And I'm gonna say, you know what? I'll lose my power when I go into Soul Karen like that. And I'm like, screw this. I'm just going into Soul Karen and losing half my power.
Well, what was terrible to me about the vampire stuff, now, I didn't really play with the vampire lord stuff, but what really bothered me was the original vampire mechanics, where it was you were pretty much weaker and more human the more blood you drank, but the less blood you drank, the more vampiric you became. It was very backwards. I mean, it's like, wouldn't drinking blood enhance you since you're a vampire and you needed to sustain yourself?
Yeah,
Why would you just start getting weaker drinking blood? Wouldn't
yeah,
that
and
help you?
yeah, and my favorite is the werewolf. You get stronger every time you eat the human heart. It's like heart consumed, and they get stronger. That's what I
Exactly
liked
my
about it. The
point.
werewolf was a badass in the game, and that's why I always loved. That's why I always start out with the companion. If I do my playthrough, I will start out with the companions first. You know why? I could turn into a werewolf and be before the PC where there's mods where I could shut up Heimskr by having like there's these mods called shut up Heimskr mods where the Telos statue will fall on Heimskr. You know, the crazy Telos guy. But yeah, these modding guys, they do it amazing because you know what I did? And I play the companions first because I want to kill Heimskr, but I don't want to go gel, so I'll just transform into a werewolf when I first start out, and I'm like, oh look, Heimskr, you're gonna die like that, and I also could take out Bellathor as well. I don't care about the shop, I just hate that Breton.
Well, one thing I'm hoping they do, if in fact they're doing a Fallout 4, which we already pretty much know is coming,
Oh
one
man.
one thing I'm hoping they do with Fallout 4 is make it less like a first-person shooter, more RPG element-wise. Because to me, Fallout 3
It's
felt like a very much more.
Fallout New Vegas had a lot of similar like first-person shooter perspective and RPG. They did it really well with New Vegas. If you ever played it,
See, I
but
never played New
oh,
Vegas. I last
you
time I
have
played was
you
Fallout
missed
3.
something out. They added things like the pistols, for instance. They had a different ammunition for each pistol. It's not like shotgun shells or something like that. It's like you have 20 gauge, you have 12 gauges, you have magnum rounds, you have a lot of stuff, and they changed. And I love how they had like jacketed hollow points. This is coming from a guy with a background in guns who does race run guns, and it's like, oh man, jacketed hull points. They have hand loading rounds where you put more powder in and stuff. I'm looking at the hand loaded rounds and stuff. It's like, damn, they are going deep with this game. And then I play the mods for New Vegas, and it's like Project Nevada out of all of them. Project Nevada is the best. It adds sprinting features to it. You hit sprint, you have a grenade key now instead of trying to equip it. They do a lot.
Well, the other thing I hope they do with it is maybe incorporate more of a class system with it. I didn't remember how Fallout 3 was, but I know in Skyrim they kind of eliminated the whole point of a class system because you could pretty much just level up everything and become a jack of all trades and be a master of it all at the same time. And that's the one thing I missed from the Oblivion games was, hey, I had to either customly make my class, or I had to actually play a class that excelled at a particular way of playing that I could somewhat customize. And Skyrim, to me, you could have done all that, but at the same time, you could have just basically said, okay, well, I'm going to be an alchemist, I'm going to be an archer, I'm going to be a firefighter,
Skyrim did that anyway.
everything. Fuck
Yeah,
it.
Skyrim did that anyway. It's like you have to level up so many times, or you gain so much skill, and then you legacy it, and it goes back down, and you gain it again. They do that. It's annoying because you get to go even higher of a level. They don't have the level cap anymore like they did in Fallout and Oblivion.
It's
like
just
you
I
hit
would
the
love
certain level.
some things,
And to
similar
get
that.
rid of that level 50, level cap, please get rid of that. It's annoying. It was originally level 30 level cap, and now it's like level 50 now in New Vegas after all the DLC they gave you. It's like, hey, guess what? You guys are getting a level cap now, and it's like, why would you guys even do this to us? What did we do to you guys? Like that. That was my situation on them, and the games got significantly harder. The other ones and stuff. You had to have like a high level before you went to like the Lonesome Road DLC, because there's some giant monsters in that one. Some of them called tunnelers. They're these tiny little mutant humans that live underground, look like insects almost to a point, have insect features, and they kill the Deathclaw easily.
Well,
Before it's the big question. Like I said before we went live, is I'm really excited to see where this all takes place, what setting they're using this time, because I know a lot of people are hoping that it's going to be Boston, but at the same time, I'm thinking Boston repeat of Washington. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Boston is in a different area than Washington D.C. is. Boston's in a
Yeah, I know
way
that.
different area.
it'd be interesting if they did it somewhere like overseas or even.
I'm not sure about the overseas because, like, for all they know, like China's destroyed and stuff. Like they were not really sure, but like China's gone for all they know. All the other countries are gone.
Well, somebody said somebody were talking about Fallout in London,
That would be very interesting to see.
Yeah, I would like it.
because I'm really surprised that there aren't that many games that takes place in London, especially when you see an open world game basically that takes place in a city. The only game that I've seen that did something really different was Sleeping Dogs. They had Hong Kong,
yeah.
which was amazing. I mean, I loved Hong Kong, just driving around in Hong Kong. I really want to go to Hong Kong, so
I think
but
that's. Go ahead. I'm sorry, man.
No, it's really having the game set in London would introduce a lot of interesting dynamics because the city is really. I mean, I've been to London many times, and I know the city like the back of my hand because
Mhm.
I always walk when I'm in London, and I've gotten to know the city quite well. It's I would love to see a representation of London in the Fallout universe. You know, all these historical buildings that they could. Enter a trashed Buckingham Palace or stuff like that. I mean, I love that idea, just seeing a post-apocalyptic London.
I think that's why I enjoyed Bloodborne so much. I've always thought the old school Victorian London look, the Gothic Victorian look, was awesome. And
Yeah.
then seeing how well they incorporated that into the Bloodborne style or what that game was, it was a beautiful game with a beautiful atmosphere to it. And walking
Yeah,
around that city of Yarnum, which looks like a Victorian London era city, even though it was inspired by some city in Romania, I think. But seeing that city the way they designed it, it just looked amazing. Because
it's
it
really
reminded me of old school Victorian London. Because back then, London was dirty and it was gross. It wasn't all pretty everybody imagines it to be.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I want to jump. I want to jump in. The crazy part, if you walk around certain areas of London, you will actually see a lot of these.
Oh, I
A
changed the
lot.
title of the video, by the way. I added Randy Harper, a tax author.
Oh yeah. How,
Good luck.
What would you do
have
with
we
a
gotten to that part?
Victor?
Have we?
We're
Have
gonna
we?
talk about that, and Nurgle's gonna talk about that. But
Uh,
I'm gonna do a
yeah.
final thing on. We're gonna jump into that right now. But I'm gonna do one final thing on the Fallout 4.
Well, go
What
ahead and do
we're expecting.
the Fallout 4 thing. Continue on with that for just a minute.
Okay.
I'm gonna go step
No
away
one fucks with
5 seconds, or not 5 seconds. I'm gonna step away for just a minute because I gotta take care of
Okay.
something real quick.
Yeah. Because I'm just laughing right now because the whole Randy Harper thing,
Okay.
trying to bully
But
Anne
for a
Rice.
second, wait a second, JT, on that. Wait 1 second. Before we
Okay.
go on to that, one last thing on this with the Fallout 4. We'll give our last impressions
Okay.
on this,
Well,
what we're gonna expect from Fallout
I'll
4.
say this right now.
I'll be right
They'll
back.
probably pull. Let's just hope they pull something good.
I think they will. Fallout 4, Fallout and Skyrim, or Elder Scrolls and Fallout.
What?
That's their bread and butter. That's Bethesda's bread and butter. They're not going to piss off their fan base right now. They have a loyal modding community, and they're not going to say, "Oh, mods are forbidden." They're not going to do that. I don't think Bethesda's that stupid.
No, and one final point that I wanted to address concerning Fallout is that I am really curious to see what engine they're going to use. If it's a new engine or an improved engine from or improved version of the Skyrim engine. I'm really curious about that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully it's not Gamebryo.
Oh yeah.
Ugh, that was a nightmare and a half.
Got any ideas? Anyone else? Before I move on to something else.
I would like the glow to come back. The glow was interesting from the first Fallout game.
Fallout, the original Fallout.
Wait, what?
Okay.
The first Fallout.
Okay, good. All right. I was wondering, which one are you talking about, Fallout 3 or Fallout 1? I'm like,
Yeah, it was whenever the glow when you go there, you have no clue what it is usually. And 5 steps forward towards some black crater says you have radiation poisoning. 5 more steps, you explode with radiation and you die.
oh,
And
that's the rad. That's the rad detector.
yeah, I know, but the area is called the glow.
Oh yes, but I don't think they'll be covered in California this time around.
That would be
Chances are it's going to be one of the things I said is wasn't it fun exploring the Mojave like that. One of the developers, we're not going to say much, but wasn't it fun exploring the Mojave? He said it like that. So I'm expecting something around that area. I'm not sure yet. It could be in Boston, but why would they do it in there?
For all
I mean, the
care, it
Mojave.
could have been Los Angeles.
Yes. But I'm just saying, Los Angeles is almost nothing anymore in Fallout New Vegas. But Fallout 2,
The worst part, the really sad part, according to I was talking about this very thing with a friend of mine. He basically said if they had Fallout set in Los Angeles, what would be the difference? All you had to do was make Los Angeles. That's how bad that city looks.
in the game, yeah. Have you ever played the original one? Oh man, I think it's either in Fallout 1 or Fallout 2. They show Los Angeles.
No, he meant that they didn't have to
Oh, okay. I
create
was thinking.
create
Okay.
post-apocalyptic artwork for Los Angeles, given how the city already looks.
Yeah, or Fallout Vancouver. Imagine how that will be.
Fallout Detroit.
Yeah, Fallout
Like
Detroit.
a nuclear winter kind of thing. Because one of the NPCs are always like, patrolling the Mojave makes you wish for a nuclear winter. What if they went that route? That would be interesting.
Yeah, there's a mod. There's like a standalone game mod that they're doing that you'll need Fallout New Vegas for, and it's. Give me a second here while I look it up. It's something. UT Fallout, the Frontier. It's called Fallout the Frontier. I'll put it in our chat so you guys can see it. Here it is. Paste it. There you go. It's falloutthefrontier.com. They're doing this. It's kind of like Project Brazil, and Project Brazil almost, like where it's a standalone game where you actually need the game for it, but they're doing their own. They have their own team and stuff, and it's like a nuclear winter. And they say there's an ongoing joke in there that says patrolling Mojave makes you almost like, and it just is. I wish those guys would shut up. Someone in the helicopter, the vertebrate that they're in, they're saying, "I wish those people just shut up." Basically, makes me wish they would shut up. They did that joke.
Okay, so I'm back now. My bad, guys.
Okay, but yeah, one final thought on what Fallout 4 is what we're expect from Fallout 4, Nurgle.
Yo. No, final thought. I caught just a minute ago when you were saying it would be interesting if they went for that nuclear winter style.
Yeah.
I agree. I would love to see like a winter thing. That would be awesome.
I live in Norwich. You guy could probably vouch for this one as well. JT's in a winter environment as well where it actually snows. I am too. I am in an area in western Montana. Western Montana has bad snow. Sometimes not bad snow, sometimes it won't. So thank you, global warming, for that. But we used to have such horrible snow that it would get really deep. So I do know what winters are like, how bad winters are. Norwegian guy can vouch for that. JT.
Yeah.
For that.
Well, we have a snow problem here in Norway right now, and it's fucking June. So
yeah.
That is unusual even here.
So would you like to see a nuclear winter version of Fallout?
I would. Well, no. The reason is because I hate seeing snow. I fucking hate seeing it. I do not want to see that. If I'm gonna run around in an all white environment with snow coming down, no, fuck no. God. And
Okay.
it would be like then it truly would be Skyrim.
I would love to see the survival settings be brought back from New Vegas that they did the hardcore mode. They had a hardcore mode in New Vegas where it's like you need to eat water, drink water, eat food, sleep, or you will get sleep deprivation, dehydration. That made the game much more interesting. If you played on expert and did that, the game could kick your ass. And if you ever played Dust and had those settings on, it would be hard to play the game. You would have
always ask for a new hardcore difficulty.
That would be a good like difficulty set option. I wouldn't say make it mandatory.
Actually, I would love to see this with the new Fallout game. Then do something like Dust, or even do a side game, or even a DLC, like a standalone DLC, like they did with Far Cry Blood Dragon. Do something like that with the Fallout game, Fallout 4. Do something like that and make it kind of like Dust. They need to do something like that as well, because if they do something like that, I'll be like, holy shit, this is awesome, because Dust made it scary. They added the tunnelers. What they did is 20 years after Fallout New Vegas, they sent the tunnelers in. They sent the cloud from the Sierra Madre finally seeped into the Mojave and stuff like that, and everybody was getting hit by plagues and stuff, and everyone's dying. They did it so well.
Well, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens. I'm also really curious. I mean, if they have mod support and they do what they have always done for the modders, I I am really excited to see all the stuff that modders will come up with as well. So
Yes, and I hope they put the one who did the Baja House brings that back because I would love to escape the horrible on plane, escape the horrible wasteland to go to the beautiful island in the Baja.
and of course the not safe for work mods.
Yeah.
We gotta have not safe for work mods.
Oh
Those
yeah, the innuendo mods. Yeah, I gave a few of those to John Kelly to put on lewdgamer.com. I showed. Yeah, I got a few mods for you that the website you work for will love.
I felt that I actually tried those mods out for a reason, but I felt really sad playing playing a Skyrim game that has sex mods in them. I felt like a really sad piece of shit. And
New Vegas.
Hey, don't feel bad. I felt like a pervert when I bought and played Honey Pot for the first time.
I didn't
was like,
feel
okay,
either.
okay,
I didn't feel
I
guilty
can deal
either
with
about
this.
it because I actually
No,
played some of the mods, and some of the mods tend to glitch, but some of the mods were just beautiful.
well, I'm in a very
Nothing's
interesting. I
funnier
was
than banging a granny and watching her freak out and soar towards the sky.
well, the crazy part of this is that while I used these mods, I actually got damn. I need to get laid, so I called a friend of mine. She is a friend with benefits, and I told her my problem, and she's like, "Yeah, okay, you can stop by."
So
Oh,
you can
man.
basically say Skyrim or what was it, Fallout or Skyrim that you got?
It was Skyrim.
So you
Oh,
can basically
man.
say Skyrim, thank you for getting me laid.
Oh my God, yeah. But you know what? I have to say it like this: these games, Fallout and Skyrim, no, Fallout and Elder Scrolls, yeah, Bethesda relies on them, and these mods, Bethesda has something the other companies don't have. The other companies have to learn from their mistakes. What Bethesda gave us, what the creation kit is this. They gave us a creation kit, and it says, you have a problem with the game, you fix it. And then they take notes, and they look on the Nexus, and they're taking notes like, holy shit, someone actually put a hardcore setting in there in Fallout 3, and they went like, let's implement that in Fallout New Vegas. So I seen the hardcore settings like Fallout 3 and Oblivion, and then you see that hardcore setting put on Fallout New Vegas.
Let's put
They
it this way: they actually the modding community actually did pretty well for itself.
Yes,
And-
yeah.
The fact that Bethesda may have pissed off a lot of people with that whole incident with the decision to provide the whole pay for mods thing, I was like, I didn't like that idea.
But they learned and they stopped it.
Yeah,
It's
they got
development,
them.
Bethesda's like,
When even Steam decides to get rid of it, then you know
but I
it's
think
over.
I think it was also Bethesda's call. It's like, you know what? The fans hate this thing. I feel bad for the people that bought the mods. It's like, if anybody bought that, they're dumbasses, and they deserve to lose that money. It's
Yeah,
like,
but there were a lot of. I saw a huge discussion on the Nexus forums concerning this, and one of the guys basically said he felt bad for anybody who bought
presenting
mods.
your snurgle to everyone.
Yeah,
so
because
we can watch
the
it.
reason why
Oh well,
the
thank you, sir.
chances are those mods will never work.
Mm-hmm.
No, I
'Cause
mean
there's a lot of requirements to use those mods, and
Yeah.
it's like you have to have this mod in order for it to make it work, or this mod to make it work, and chances are the mod will probably never work at all.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
the interesting thing is that they were some guys were trying to cash in by selling mods that were available for free on the Nexus
That
forums.
weren't even theirs. They basically did it like this. They just said, you know what, we don't own it, and they took things from other mods and stuff. Eleonora, she's famous for her house mods and stuff. You have to look at her mods if you have Skyrim and stuff and you haven't played them yet. I heavily suggest you look up Eleonora on the Nexus and see her mods. They're amazing. She says, do not use my mods. Yeah, do not use my mods for paid do not use my mods for paid. Do not use my mods for money like that. Basically,
And
if you want.
I want to mention something else as well. There was one interesting thing that happened because of what happened on Steam and the paid mods thing. The guys who tripwired the developers behind Killing Floor, they actually updated their terms in the game, and that was like no mods for this game is allowed to be sold.
Mm-hmm.
They
Oh,
have
okay.
denied modders to sell any mods for Killing Floor,
But you know
and
what?
I think that
But the one thing I like about Bethesda or Nexus is what they did to combat that. They said like, we'll have this donation pool for these modders. If you want to help
yeah, that's
support these
they yeah,
modders,
but
donate.
Killing Floor said that's fine. You're allowed to receive donations, but you're not allowed to charge for the actual mod
Yes.
Yeah.
because
They're
and
not
that's
allowed to sell the mod at all.
no, and that's fine. That I have no problem with.
I have a huge problem with people trying to make money off of mods. It's like, you know what? Most of those assets are coming from the original games, so it's like,
Because here's the thing. I don't mind giving them a donation, but if they're trying to do it for research purposes, that's fine.
yeah,
I'm
go
all
right
for
ahead.
that.
More power to you guys. But yeah, they're trying to do this just for like, they're just trying to do this just like pocket, or they take the like how I've
No,
seen with some.
because the thing about that is that they always try to work out an idea and try to program it or possibly design like inspirational ideas from other genres such as anime.
Oh, by the way, guys,
What? Norwegian
Well,
guy?
God.
Okay, but yeah, what I'm expecting from Fallout is they're not going to screw up with it. They have too much. They have so much to lose, or they have a lot to lose if they screw up with Fallout 4. They kill off their modding community. What are they going to do with the next Elder Scrolls 5? That's all I have to say.
They're gonna kill off the sales.
Yeah, that's it. They're not going to have as much sales in the game. Bethesda will start losing sales big time. So yeah, you have to make sure your main games are supported. I'm not sure about Doom or.
Shoot, I don't
I'm
even
not
know if
sure
they're going
about
to do the
Doom or-
modding community for Dragon Age because I believe the Dragon Age community is still around.
Yeah, but still, just this bullshit around mods for Fallout New Vegas and stuff like that. The new Fallout 4. If they screw it up and say Fallout 4 does not have mods,
Leon,
nobody's gonna buy it.
before I cut off earlier, I just wanted to say I think we moved into a way different topic now,
Yeah.
which concerns mods in general.
Yes.
So I would just
Okay.
suggest that we kind of
Yeah,
because
I think we should move on. I think we should move on. You give it a good.
we can
idea.
talk about mods for hours. This is such a huge discussion
Yes,
point as
this
well.
this is something for another time. I agree. This is a
Yeah.
topic for another day. Let's move on to something else. Nurgle has much more information on. Randy Harper picking a fight with a well-known author. Nurgle, you have the floor.
Oh man, this is gonna be great. So today there was an article written on a website called. Let me get it up here so I can see it.
It's on a
There was-
blog.
Yeah, it's a blog on a site called STGRB. It's something to stop the good read bullies or something like that. It's an taking a stand against bullies, not against reviews is the blog. Well, there was a blog written about the review that she did on that book way back in the day on the Amazon book.
Oh yeah, the
Amazon
one
book
with
review.
the guy. I forgot his name.
I forgot his name as well, but since I do
let me
have
see
it,
if I can remember because it's
the
on
one-
Shift Block 20.
yes,
The one
Written
review,
by
the,
Stephanie.
the review for the book that she never read.
Yes.
yes, and I'm posting the actual blog article now for you guys in the chat to see.
I'll put it.
The guys in our
in,
chat.
I'll put it in.
Yeah,
I'll put it.
and
in
it
chat
did
as
make
well.
references to Ship 2 Block 20.
Yes, but anyway, she wrote this. She wrote this bad review about a book she didn't read because basically it was a man writing about feminism, and she didn't like that. She sicked her little goon squad on them and harassed this man, smeared him. You know, the usual social justice bullshit.
Yeah.
Well, this guy goes by the name Johnny B. Good wrote a blog about Randy Harper's bully review. And he had no idea who Randy Harper actually is. He
Oh.
never heard of her. I guess he found this because the review got reported and pulled down off of Amazon actually.
Yeah.
Now, Anne Rice, and as for those that don't know, which I'm not going to say it's odd if y'all don't know, but Anne Rice, who's well known for writing the book series The Vampire Chronicles, including books like Queen of the Damned and Interview with the Vampire, which both have had very popular movies made on them. Queen of the Damned, not so much a good movie, but it was a movie. Well, the author of these books, who is about 72, 73 years old, has a rabidly huge fan base. She shared this blog article link on her Facebook. And lo and behold, Miss Harper caught wind of it and has started trying to begin a harassment campaign against Anne Rice, one of the most well-known authors who pretty much reinvented the vampire genre of books. Before that, what was it? Bram Stoker who revolutionized it?
Yes.
Well, she reinvented it and brought it back into popularity. She started deleting a lot of Randy Harper's stuff that she was saying on Facebook, because Randy Harper was basically attacking her on Facebook and getting her little goon squad to attack on there, and she was removing the comments from them. Because Anne Rice doesn't put up with this kind of shit. She likes positivity. She doesn't like negativity on her site. And let me see, what else happened after that? Now, it turns out my wife, she's a very, very avidly huge fan of Anne Rice. I know I've had to see her watch the movies about 1,000,000 times, and she's got like 15 copies of each book. Well, my wife was telling me that this site was a site created by Anne Rice, and Anne Rice had started this whole campaign against bully reviews and things like that because of discrediting the authors and smearing their names like they have been, and all that fun stuff. Well, so the site is actually tied to Anne Rice, and apparently Anne Rice was happy because it made a big conversation on Facebook that was very, very good, but now she's running around. Randy Harper's trying to claim that Anne Rice is pro-Gamergate, that this site is pro-Gamergate.
She's not.
Hey, crack will do that to you.
Yeah,
Crackle?
cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the Ralph Retort article, and he couldn't help himself by using the mugshot of Randy Harper.
Yeah, it's...
man.
But anyhow, long story short, nobody's buying the bullshit that she's running. And even on the site itself, the blog site, that same guy came back and did a follow-up, which the first thing he says in the follow-up is, ever since our post on Randy Harper's bully review, the Twitterverse has exploded. It appears we have stumbled upon a rather nasty bully who has been at this for a while and who, wait for it, is the CEO of the Online Abuse Prevention Initiative and partner of the Crash Override Network. It is also listed on our Facebook profile. Now, I'm going to go ahead and read a little bit more of this article to tell you, just to give you an idea of the things that got shared on his comments for his last blog on this, and then he decided to write a whole new article about it. And today we've been inundated with emails and comments on our blog about Randy's online behavior, and he posts some of the comments. One of the comments was, just to let you know, you guys know, Randy Harper's the CEO of OAP and partner with Con whatever against online bullying. Yes, CEO of anti-abuse organization. They're talking about that. Let that sink in. The Ship to Block 20 articles, I believe those were written by, what was it, Sushi?
Yeah, Sushi Lulu.
All
AKA
three of those
Stephanie.
are linked on here, as well as regarding Ginmar. I don't know if you know about this case, Arthur. She was apparently following him around for the better part of several months, and he was desperate. Another article, another link to that for a Reddit page from Kotaku in Action.
Yeah. What happened to Stephanie after she wrote that article?
Yeah, she became a
There
big
were-
target of hers, didn't she?
Yeah, she had hacking attempts against her.
Someone hacked her account on Xbox Live. There was some investigations going on about this, and we found some information that's personal. We're not going to say what it is. All I can say is
Obviously.
that there is something fishy going on. That Randy does have some friends in higher places, and let's just say that she used to work in some of those places as well.
She also trying to get into She says I was in the IRC a lot, and I like to fuck with them.
Randy Harper.
Co-opting is absolutely fun. Let me tell you, she told the whole gamer guys, the IRC, she came in like her 500-pound belly bust through the fucking two-way door, saying, "I'm going to go after the cartel," and I'm just thinking to myself, this is gonna be fucking good.
Good luck, because
I have.
you know how much the cartel is going to cost them? It's going to cost them money.
It's gonna cost her all her coke money. I'll tell you that.
Now, this is the thing about this whole Randy Harper thing.
Okay,
This is the thing about.
let's all laugh at this.
Okay, yes, it's funny. Go on, Earl.
Now, this is what I've got to say.
Cartel's going to go after her.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay, JT.
She'll claim that the drug cartel's harassing her.
Oh, we get it.
Good luck.
Now,
drug cartels don't harass. They just.
This is the thing
Yeah, they
about,
do.
about
Trust me,
Randy
they do.
Harper.
Yes.
Yeah, she has friends in high places. She's got all these social justice warriors that work for Twitter and all the gaming media and all this. Anne Rice has an entire legal team.
Yes, she does.
This is a woman. Okay, this author is. Let's put it this way. Her
She's
writing
rich.
is so hailed by so many. She has college courses dedicated to studying her writing. This isn't some random author you find on Amazon who wrote an ebook. This isn't, several of the random Gamergate folk that got targeted by her. This isn't like Sushi, who's just a journalist, or a writer, excuse me. I don't know if she takes that title or not. But this is a woman who has metric butt tons of money, who regularly holds, I think, an annual ball or party in New Orleans at the house that Interview and Forrest Gump was filmed at.
I gotta go there.
There's a party dedicated to the Vampire Chronicles about her books. These people cosplay as vampires and show up there for this party. She has money out the ass and has well respected friends throughout multiple industries.
And in Hollywood.
And in Hollywood. Also, imagine how many authors respect this woman. We're talking people like George R.R. Martin, Neil Gaiman, and many, many others. Those are just off the top of my head.
Randy Harper kicked the hornet's nest is all she did.
Now, here's the
If
thing.
she goes after her, she's fucking screwed.
Yeah,
She already went after her.
This is where it gets
attacking her.
great, though.
Yeah, that's the thing. If social justice warriors go after Anne Rice, they don't realize that that's going to cause a lot of problems. That you're going up against a famous author, thinking, "Oh my God, her book is so horrible." You know, some fans are going to react to that, and they're going to say,
just some
"You're
fans.
full of shit."
It's everyone in the writing community in general will go after. I saw a few writers say, "Oh no, but like that," and they're just like going against her and stuff like that. And I'm like, you really just screwed yourself over, woman, like that. But men shouldn't talk about feminism like that. And I just like that this woman say
Now,
she's open for criticism.
that's another thing. Anne Rice, according to my wife, now I'm going off of what my wife says. I believe her because she's a big fan of hers. According to my wife, Anne Rice is a big time feminist.
Oh,
She's an old school feminist. She's like based mom feminist.
Oh,
She's
so
Space Mom feminist.
C.H. Sommer, Christina Hoff Summers, and Anne Rice get together and talk about this. They are
Oh God, it would be
freaking
great.
screwed.
Anne Rice is an amazing author.
If
But
they keep on going after her, I'm not going to be surprised if Anne Rice takes the route of Mark Kern. I'm not going to be surprised if they keep doing this.
this is where it's going to get good. Anne Rice has an extremely rabid fan base that stretches multiple, fan
That'll make
bases
Randy
of
Harper's
geekdom.
fans.
You're talking
Outrage.
LARPers. You're talking, the vampire nuts that love Twilight. You're talking about gamers all over the place. Anne Rice is big.
I heard of her,
And
but I never really knew her. But I knew her by name.
again,
Can I just?
go ahead,
I
man.
want to. Yeah, you mentioned the whole legal team that Anne Rice has. I mean, if Randy Harper starts implicating certain people that have, if she has friends in high places, and those people are implicated, I
They're
bet
done.
you they will run as fast as they can away from her.
They
and-
will.
And the idea here is that, I mean, how much credibility does Randy Harper even have now, even among the SJWs?
Randy
I mean, there's not a
Harper-
lot. There's
Yeah.
not a lot. There's not a lot of people that take her seriously anymore because she's gone off the deep end,
Yeah.
and a lot of people know that being associated with her is not a good thing because she lost her job. She is immensely unpopular, and one person even made the comment that she was unhireable because of all this shit that she has done and tweeted out. I mean, she has written some pretty heinous things and has been. I mean, she's a member of this anti-bully bullshit organization that she's a part of, and she
Yeah,
has
There's
about
also
that.
a picture of
Okay.
Randy Harper next to a Nazi flag.
Here's the
what?
thing.
Yeah,
We
there's a
all-
picture
Yeah,
that
yeah,
the A
she's-
team posted at one
Yeah.
time of her posing next to her
Okay,
ex-boyfriend.
yeah, okay, Nurgle, you're the expert on this one. What were you
Well-
saying about in the articles about them finding out something about her? Go ahead.
Oh, let me see what we had here in the articles. Included in the blog article, he included an excerpt from what it looks like to be one of Sushi's article, and he says this sounds familiar. It sounds like a lot of the bullies we've dealt with in the past. They all have the same MO. They relentlessly bully others, and if anyone criticizes them, they turn around and accuse those people of harassment. Hilariously, Randy has even accused KFC, yes, Kentucky Fried Chicken, of harassment. According to the article, Randy herself is no paragon of civic virtue. She has been incarcerated on multiple occasions for what she claims were traffic offenses, but around which much more salacious rumors swirl. Any games industry insiders. Harper denied on Saturday night that there was any more to her arrest or the time she has spent behind bars than her driving violations. Now, that was another excerpt from the article, and the blogger's response is, wow, just wow. We heard about all this today when apparently overnight Twitter erupted into a war after Anne Rice tweeted about our article on Randy's bully review. Since then, Randy has taken to Twitter to revile her. There is an excerpt, there is an image here from, I guess it was Space Midget posted this on Twitter, and it's in the article. Some of the things being said. Let's see. It's cool. This is Randy. It's cool. Likes me. I can do. Somebody named Lilith St. Crow likes me. I can do without Anne Rice author's toxicity and harassment culture. That's one of the things she says. Anne Rice blocked me when I called her a bully. Stakes and Lestat doesn't seem like a real Anne Rice fan. Probably just your average gator playing the role of one.
Oh,
They're trying to tie. That's what the other funny thing is she's trying to tie Gamergate with this. She's trying to say that Anne Rice is a Gamergater. Let's see here. She's even trying to strong arm Amazon to republishing her nasty review. This is a tweet from her. Getting on the phone with Amazon later to get the book review I wrote about the Creepo Wadhwa. I can't pronounce it right. Reinstated. QQ and Rice. Good luck, Randy. You'll need it. So let this be fair warning. Please give this bully a very wide berth and steer clear of her. It's easy to have an enjoyable experience online as long as you know who to avoid. And now comments get crazy. Like, I've had occasion to document Randy's abuse and harassment of creators before. Thought you might find this relevant. Keep fighting the good fight. Score you 100%. He puts out the OP personal bias, plausible deniability, and harassment. And there's multiple accounts, people just talking about her insanity, and other people that know nothing about her going, wow, this bitch is crazy.
Well, the idea here, I mean, what she has essentially done, because money talks, and the idea here, this is an author that has sold hundreds of millions of books.
And it's beyond hundreds of millions,
yeah,
I think.
She probably has a lot of money and a lot of resources.
Plus a lot of plus a lot of movie royalties.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, keep in mind, if Randy Harper wants to start a shitstorm against Anne Rice, she might get more than she bargained for. There's no way she's going to be able to handle this. I mean, if she is insane or deluded, if she thinks she's going to get anywhere with this is not. I mean, because people are not stupid. Fans of her who know her are going to defend her. If this ever becomes bigger than a Twitter feud, which I doubt. I really doubt this will turn into anything bigger than a Twitter feud.
Knowing Randy Harper, it might.
But
now,
if it does...
Here's the thing.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, and I wanted to interrupt you about this. Now, yes, we know Randy Harper has bloggers and journalists that will run shit for her. I'm ready and waiting for them to start trying to smear her name in media, in public media. Go ahead and let's see it happen. Because, Anne Rice, from what I can tell, from what I gather, from what my wife has explained to me and what I've seen about her so far is she doesn't take this kind of shit. And according to my wife, if my wife is correct and she actually has this legal team, do you know how quick she will sue the shit out of any website that starts smearing her like that?
I am
Polygon.
Do you really think that... Here's the other question. Do you really think mainstream media will jump on this?
Go ahead,
hang on. I'm just gonna make a anonymous phone call to Polygon. I have a top news story for you. Anne Rice is a misogynist. Write that.
Please.
I don't know if Polygon would even be willing to write something like that. Because this is a huge name. This is far larger than attacking Josh Whedon.
I'm waiting for Macintosh to write something on this. I really am.
Please do.
Oh,
but
man.
The thing is no, I don't see this going beyond a Twitter war. But one thing it is doing is it's getting public attention. This site is a site that's endorsed by Anne Rice herself. From looking at the site itself, she has an entire link dedicated to her on the front page of the site, and right next to a link called Asshats.
Yep.
I gotta say, if she wrote a book about Randy Harper, I think more people would buy that book than Randy Harper's bullshit.
Well, you know what? You're right about that, and this is actually a very very opportunistic time for this to happen to Anne Rice, as according to what my wife has said. Like I said, I'm going off of my wife because I haven't been able to research much into this to get actual citations for you. But according from what I've heard, she's writing a new Vampire Chronicle book that a lot of people have been waiting to see a new book in that series to come out. She's
The
not written a
antagonist,
book in years.
the antagonist is a guy with blue hair called Frankie Raymer. Not based
Now,
on his.
with that said, I'm going to at least share a picture somebody made earlier today that made me laugh my fucking ass off about this whole case. Because now we're running around in Gamergate claiming that we're vampires now. So not only have we been to Mars, not only have we died multiple times, but no wonder we've died so many times. We've come back as the undead itself.
Yes, we are vampires now.
We are now vampires. And somebody made this meme earlier today, and I have got to share it because it's fucking great. This is shared by a gentleman on Twitter who goes by the name Red Morgan, at Dread Morgan.
I've heard of him.
Yeah, he's an interesting individual, I guess.
Yeah.
Let's see, screen share.
Okay, give me a second here. Let me share you again. Okay, present to everyone. There we go.
All right, we're gonna share it here. You're probably not gonna see a whole lot on there yet.
Inception.
And here we go. Go now, or abandon all hope of seeing the sun again.
You
stop that. Somebody changed it too, and let me see if I can find the one that somebody changed it to, because somebody altered it and even made it better with, that's problematic language, sir.
We have so much crack in this day.
The worst part is that she actually looks like Randy Harper.
Yeah, that's the scary part. Is this picture of Velma looks like Randy Harper?
Velma's too skinny.
And then somebody shared this one here, and I don't know what the fuck, but they shared that one.
Oh my! Is that a CD one?
It's a full
cosplay.
Yeah, well, it's not a cosplay deviant. I don't know what it's from. It's a full-size, a plus-size model posing as Velma.
Velma's not that big, though. They never make her that big. I don't get it.
Well, I mean, it's a thing. Different stroke.
She has big hips, though.
Yeah, but yeah,
well, okay,
I laugh at that.
Okay,
though.
just to clarify, I don't have a problem with Randy Harper because of her size. Her size is not what bothers me.
It doesn't.
Her personality and insane statements are what truly bother me. Just to make that clear, we're not fat shaming anybody.
No, we're not.
I
have
it's just what upsets us is that what she did wasn't really
She's
basically
an
dishonest. We just dislike what she does as dishonest as we see it.
Mm-hmm.
We're not fat shaming fat people. We're fat shaming Randy Harper.
Well, here's the thing.
The only thing that's fucked up about Randy Harper is she's created this block bot list that only her and her friends use, but no one else in the real world doesn't give a shit about it, though. And it's just frustrating to have a stupid tool out there, in my opinion.
Well, the idea here is that I'm looking at when she first got involved in Gamergate, and she was so high and mighty on everybody, and I
get in anyway. Like she just barged in or something.
Yeah, I think the whole thing started with the block bot thing, and she made a lot of comments.
I was like, my god, that woman's a freak, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I mean, that was
she never admits that anything is wrong, because the fact that I remembered her little freaking mailing list that she created for the block bot was interesting.
Yeah, the thing
there was somebody.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
There was somebody who basically said, "Okay, let's take her list, and these are all the people that she have blocked. These are people that we want to talk to." use that as a reference point of people we might want to talk to.
Yeah. I'm still upset I'm not on the Blockbot list. Hey, Randy, when you gonna add me on that list? I'm
I
saying,
I'm not
didn't get.
added on it, but a lot of people have me blocked.
I'm actually, I don't remember what my number is on the Gamergate auto blocker, but
Yeah.
I am also level 1 on the auto block bot.
Shit.
I don't know
you're
why
like-
I'm level 1 on the block bot. I guess maybe it was because on National Cleavage Day, I went a little ape shit after they fucked with Lion's Head Studios, and I started posting nothing but cleavage photos for
Oh.
fucking hours. It was glorious, the
That
cleavage I
day,
was
that was
showing.
a great day. I took a picture of this one girl's cleavage and just shared it on Twitter and Facebook. Everyone went nuts on National Cleavage Day. That was so funny. And all the girls in GG got involved in too.
Oh, do you see what Queenie did on that day?
That was amazing.
Yes.
And Mercedes, I mean, come on now.
And
But
Mercedes constantly like spamming Macintosh's feed with porn.
that was funny as hell.
Yeah.
But you know, I went a little ape shit that day. That's the day I changed my entire Twitter profile to Slanesh and just went full blown just crazy with pornography. No, it wasn't even pornography. I would just say it was lewds. I mean, it was just mostly just pics of chicks with cleavage. I don't even think I showed off any topless women.
I think
I
that's
checked my,
why. Sorry.
I checked myself on the block list. Now I am on the GG auto blockers list, but I'm not on the block bots list.
Okay, where's that block bot checker at? I've lost the link.
It's okay. Yeah, here, the link is blockcheck.leagueforgamers.com.
Okay, block check.
.leagueforgamers.com.
BLOCKCHECK. League for Gamers. Block check League for Gamers. Oh, so
Yeah, I think you get on the Blockbot faster if you trigger a few of the SJWs. Though.
yeah, you know what? The
That's
SJWs.
when you get on their Blockbot list, though. Like, they find you to be a threat. Then you get added to their
What's
shit.
that background noise I'm hearing? Is that on my channel? Is there
Not
someone?
me.
You're-
All I got is Mortal Kombat X kicking in.
I'm playing Devil May Cry, but that's
What is I hear some noise. I was just wondering. Okay, it's not going on anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm not on the block list, but I am on the auto blocker list.
Yeah, I've been on. I'm on so many block bots that you won't believe.
Oh, man.
Milo is number 1 on the block bots list.
They also
Level.
didn't what's his name get on the Blockbot list? Darwin. What's his name? I'm forgetting.
Dawkins, you're thinking of
Dawkins.
Dawkins?
Yes, there you go.
Yes, he did get put on there. He was put on there, and that's where that's actually started where more attention to the auto blocker or the blockbot was coming out to be more, because they started attacking him, and people started tweeting him about Gamergate when he was getting attacked, and then suddenly the blockbots started popping up again, and everybody started bringing more attention to auto blocker and blockbot. That's when we had Operation Are You Blocked? Remember hashtag Are You Blocked?
Yeah.
That's when all that started.
That got trending too. I remember.
Oh yeah. By the way, listen to this, guys. I'm at her blog page, Randy's blog page, where she writes about the blockbot. And here's how she describes herself. After 15 years in engineering, I left to spend my time working on anti-harassment tools, policy, and education. She didn't leave shit.
She was
fucking fired.
She was either fired or straight up laid off. I remember hearing.
Okay, there's an echo going on. Who is it?
Well, who the hell would want to work with Randy Harper? Honestly, who would?
Nobody.
Shit, I wouldn't want to work with Randy Harper.
Look, this is a.
Oh, I'm doing a good thing for anti-harassment, but here in reality, you aren't doing nothing.
You know what? If you wanted to do a better thing for better anti-harassment, just go to fucking Gamergate.
JT, you're echoing.
Yep, you gotta
Hold
keep
on.
going there,
Hold
sir.
on.
He has to fix it. He has to fix the setup. Yeah, but
Anyhow, back on the topic though of the whole Anne Rice thing. To close that out, I'm just gonna straight up say it. If these SJWs decide to actually take this further and try to smear the name of Anne Rice, they are in for a world of hurt and not just backlash, but possibly legal trouble. And even right now,
Grave.
if Anne Rice, I mean, if even right now, there's a possibility of some type of legal action Anne Rice might be able to take on Randy Harper for this harassment mob shit.
Yeah.
You know?
There we go.
But she's probably
Yeah.
not because she's
Wait,
probably like a
real
really
quick, I was hearing about Anne Rice on the Facebook groups. Tell me what's going on with her. Is she a writer or?
Yeah, she is a very popular writer. She did.
She's
She
an
did
author.
Interview with the Vampire. She
she's
wrote
a very
that book.
popular author.
Oh,
She
okay,
wrote
that-
the entire Vampire Chronicles with Vampire Lestat, interview with, or well, it starts with Interview, Vampire Lestat, Queen of the Damned. There's like the
Okay.
Body Snatcher, the Body Thief. I can't remember all
Oh
of
wait,
them.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers?
No, she was the
Oh.
Body Thief.
Oh,
was the name
okay.
of it. She did a lot of. She also has a series about witches. She also wrote erotic novels too. She wrote an entire series on Beauty and the Beast, where if you turn to any page of that book, you're gonna read sex.
So she was
She's
put
also
on.
a hardcore Christian too.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
She considers herself a secular humanist.
Okay, yeah. I kind of I have to think about it like this. I'm also considered under the Christian category and stuff, and I don't go into much detail about that. But yeah, I'm not one of those crazy ones that'll say.
She also wrote the Wolf Gift Chronicles.
She wrote a whole series about witches. I don't remember the name of it. I know one of the
It's
books
called
was
The
called
Lies of
Cultos.
the Mayfair Witches. That's what it's called.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And then she did, but also she's apparently a feminist too.
That just
Yeah.
makes this whole thing a lot sweeter.
You know, it's like, okay, so you want to, and then the irony of it is she's claiming that, like, Randy Harper is claiming she's being harassed because Anne Rice blocked her. I'm like, you wrote a block bot, motherfucker. Where in the fuck do you get off saying that it's harassment?
hmm
It's the same
Yeah,
way they
because-
harassing people.
Because Anne Rice honestly disagrees with you and possibly is upset what you did.
Well, Anne Rice has taken a huge stand against this type of thing that she did, which was writing this bully review. And apparently it's a popular thing for people to do to authors they don't like
hmm
or don't agree with. Doesn't this ring a bell with, I don't know,
Yeah.
Sad Puppies?
hmm Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead. Maybe we should start tweeting Anne Rice about the Sad Puppies incident.
Yeah.
Wait, okay,
I think
okay.
maybe we should start letting her know about what happened with
I
Sad
took a
Puppies.
break of from GG during the Sad Puppies thing. What went on there? I need to know.
Okay,
Well,
clarify it. Clarify it to people that have never heard of Sad Puppies incident.
Clarify.
Yeah, clarify for everybody.
Yeah, I
that
think
doesn't
you know more about
To
that.
my
than I do.
understanding, I know that Vox was the guy who was leading that whole thing because he basically had an issue with the awards being rigged for his side of the whole thing. Was he explained that he feels that those that were he feels that right was like right wing or left wing
Just say SJWs.
SJWs are winning most of the awards in their competition in the,
Yeah.
which is weird though because it was like he kind of explained it, but it was kind of like it was a long blog that he posted.
What I gathered out of it was the Hugo Awards came about because, well, with the Hugo Awards, the much like what we saw in gaming media where the SJWs invaded it and took over, they did the same with the Hugo Awards. And so the only books that were getting into the Hugo Awards were books that the SJWs approved of the authors they approved of. They created this, not apparently they created this clique, and then Sad Puppies came to be because it was a blowback against them to get authors with better writing skills that actually were getting voted on their merit,
Yeah.
and it was something like that. But maybe that might be a thing to not so much recruit Anne Rice in it, but to put her privy to what's been going on, what these people done. You know, they tried to take over the whole science fiction genre over it.
Yeah, and I read some of the sample projects that they did.
And I heard they were some of the most ridiculous projects ever, or the ridiculous writings
Yeah,
ever.
and I read some of them. They were the one about the dinosaur. That one was like if Jacques Cousteau lived and narrated that whole thing, talking about the relationship with dinosaurs and shit, how dinosaurs are gonna have sex with each other. And they call that science fiction. That's not science fiction. That's
it
just
was horrible.
That's
from what I
biology
understand.
fiction. You gotta get it right.
yeah. It's not even science fiction. It's just
But maybe that's something we might want to clue in her in, because that involves her entire field of work that she's in is writing.
yeah.
Because I know Gamergate people, when she was getting harassed by Randy Harper, when this all started, Gamergate folks have been sending her messages and sending her information about the auto blocker, sending her information about what's been going on. And I think above all is Anne Rice is just like, you know what? I really don't give a fuck about this bitch. She can do whatever the fuck she wants. She's not gonna touch me. And I don't care.
Yeah, I know.
My book sales ain't gonna go down because your dumbass has a problem with me.
Yeah, but
Real
I think what
harassment
people
goons. I've got a block
what
button too, bitch.
what people are hoping for is that by sending her the information, she might be a little more aware of what's going on, and I think some people are hoping to persuade her to do something about it. But unless Randy goes too far, she has no reason to, because all this is a crazy woman on Twitter posting shit, and she can't respond to, and responding to every psycho is not a good idea, as any legal team will tell you. So unless Randy does something that, if she tries to publicly slander her outside of Twitter,
the
that
thing, yeah, I agree with you on that. And the thing is in a way, Anne Rice could get involved with this because, well, what is Randy Harper claimed to be the CEO of? An anti-harassment and bullying organization, which is tied to Crash Override Network. Imagine if she was exposed, if we exposed Zoe Quinn's little thing with them, what the hell happened with that? This is going to gather a lot of attention from other people. Not
just writers. Not just any writers.
Picture this, all right? Picture this. Anne Rice decides that she does indeed wants to do something about this. Here's what could perceivably happen. Randy Harper goes too far. She has one of her journalist buddies write a smearing article on Anne Rice. Anne Rice decides to take legal action against Randy Harper and the Crash Override people and the whole organization, anti-bullying organization that she works for. She takes legal action against Randy Harper. This becomes mainstream news. It smears not only Randy Harper, but it also destroys the reputation of Zoe Quinn, and any credibility she might have had with the mainstream press goes down the toilet, because here comes a woman who has been bullied and has evidence, which I'm sure Amazon will be more than happy to provide, that she has indeed been.
Actually, she was being bullied on Facebook. Look, the review from Amazon was the review on Amazon. Um, you're right. If this goes too far, Anne Rice would probably take legal action. She's a much older woman. She's much more privy to what should be done with shit like this. She's not very fond of bullying, obviously. Um, but here's the other thing about this, though, is not so much that Anne Rice gets involved into Gamergate or anything like this, but imagine how many people's eyes would be on all that information that's getting thrown towards Anne Rice. You're bringing
That
in a whole nother group of people.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, the idea here is to say, I mean, the crazy part of this is I don't for a second believe that Anne Rice will want to have anything to do with Gamergate. But the irony of the entire thing is
If Anne Rice
if
gets
Randy,
attacked enough, she might end up like
yeah,
Mark Hurd.
Yeah, because if she
Yeah.
tries to link, well, here's the thing: if they try to smear her, linking her to Gamergate, then by all means, go ahead. She can. If they try to smear her, she will sue.
Oh yeah.
She will sue, and that's the one thing that they'll probably do, because God knows they will try to link a bunch of misogynist harassers with Anne Rice because they think it's a great idea.
And then Anne Rice is
Do
going
it.
to look into us and she's going to say, these guys are
No.
harassers.
hold on,
Let's see what we
hold
get
on.
here.
hold on. The idea, what I was going to say was that it's instead of actually her becoming part of Gamergate, if Randy Harper convinces one journalist for any gaming press site to link her to Gamergate, she can basically file a lawsuit for slander and and while not even being a member or a part of Gamergate, she can
Yeah.
still do a lot of damage to these people on her own. She doesn't need us. She does
Yeah,
not need us at all.
We don't even need
we'll let
her
her.
because-
We'll let her do all her own thing. If Randy Harper has the balls to go up against Anne Rice, she better be ready.
Yeah, but the idea here is that here's what Gamergate should do. All right, it's fine to send her information. That's perfectly fine to let her know what's going on. But if she ever decides to take legal action, the best thing that we can do is sit back and
Watch the fireworks.
Watch
Well,
the
that's
fire
basically what
happen.
most of us have been doing. We've been sending information. Most of us have been sending information, as well as other people that aren't involved in Gamergate that just had shitty run-ins with this woman. And for the most part, everybody's just kind of sat back and watched Anne Rice have fun with her. Because all she's been doing is, Randy is pissed because she'll post something to her Facebook and Anne Rice will delete it. Or now that she's blocked from viewing her Facebook, now she's pissed off. This is why this goes back to the age-old thing of what a bully is. Bullies want attention. They usually have an ulterior motive, which is the fact that they're obviously either insecure themselves about something or one thing or another, and they're taking out that aggression onto other people. It's projection, you know. And Randy Harper is out to seek attention. What's pissing her off is she's being denied that attention, negative or positive. She's
Oh,
being
yeah.
denied that. And
Real
people
quick-
are denying her that.
Yeah, and what Randy Harper's doing, it's going to be like, if she does do this, she's screwed in the tech industry and stuff like that. In general, everything. She's really gonna kill the social justice warriors if they do this.
Yeah.
They really don't know how close, but these people are blind followers of Randy Harper. They view her like she's a god almost, and
No, but I truly believe that nobody views Randy Harper as a god.
no,
one.
that these diehard followers
they
of what
do.
I've seen, how they post on her channel or on their Twitter, on the Twitter of Miss Rice's Twitter, Susan Rice's or Anne Rice's Twitter. Is that her name?
Anne Rice, yes.
Anne Rice, that's it. Anne Rice's Twitter. Got my names mixed up again. Anne Rice's Twitter. If they see did you see what they said to her on the Twitter? It's like, but everybody has the right to criticize it like that. But everybody has the right to criticize people like that, and there are other people that are just jumping in, just harassing stuff like that. It's getting to the point where these social justice warriors are going to end up being done for. They're going to be.
They're already. This is.
They're on their death throes, and
yeah. I mean, the idea here is simply that the whole. For many years, the whole idea of social justice warrior meant being extremely leftist and being extremely politically correct on everything. You take a look at the you take a look at the universities today. More and more attention have been focused on, especially by people who belong to different political groups. I've heard stories from people who are conservative in the US who go to universities. They get harassed by people who are left-wing or are Democrat. People are really being harassed. They can't even discuss politics.
I've known of friends from high school that have almost beaten the crap out of a lot of liberals for being harassed. I know a lot of conservative kids that usually, and these are girls too, that almost beat the crap out of them. Scrawny little boys. It's so funny. I hear these stories about these conservative girls who are beautiful and tough and strong-minded and stuff like that, and they flirt with them and they say, I'm a conservative, and they turn to bullying on them, and then they girls get their asses kicked.
My problem.
I've got to share this with you guys.
Go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt. I've got to share this. I was on Twitter. Serial Jappus, Jared Bricky at Jared Bricky on Twitter. He said, "We've had our differences to Ian's Miles Chung, but I still want to say thanks for not being Anthony Birch." And he responds and says, "I think we are all thankful that we are not Anthony Birch."
He also said just recently, "I am not Arthur Chu." He said that as well. Oh man.
I've been liking that guy more and more every day lately. He's awesome.
Okay.
Go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt you, man.
Yeah, it was a good line. It was funny, but I just wanted to say, the whole idea about the whole idea about political correctness and people like Randy Harper and people like Brianna Wu, the people who are politically outraged over everything. I've seen an epidemic of that shit happen here in my country as well. And a lot of people here are fed up with it. It's really become an outrage culture. Let's be outraged for the sake of outrage.
Yeah.
And it's become like that. And the big problem that I feel is that you can no longer be a moderate voice. You have to take a side. It's become us versus them instead of why can't we have differences?
Also said that? George W. Bush. He says, you're either with me or you're with the terrorists. That's what it sounds like with the SJWs. You're sounding like the man you hate.
All right, I'm posting this link to this Twitter post, okay? And I'm gonna go ahead and speak.
And I agree. Yeah, and in Spormite, I agree with him. I completely agree. I think we are all thankful that we're not Anthony Birch.
I'm very thankful. I'm glad I don't look anything like that asshole.
Yo, Ash, or hey, Ash, what you playing? Type of thing. That's all I think. Anthony Birch. Just some dumbass asks his sister what she's playing.
As we know, recently Steam has just implemented a refund policy, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Brianna Wu just posted this. Wow. At Hentai PhD. Nails the problem with Steam refunds. They are brutally unfair for indie developers.
No, they're not.
Thinks this.
I wish I would have had that.
Probably because their game isn't
call President Obama to fix this issue.
Now, Brad Wardell says, I'm pretty happy with the new refund policy Steam has. It encourages more people to buy games as there's less risk. Difference. One indie developer, what's good for customers and fans is good for me. Another indie developer, me. Respect your customers, love your fans.
Yes.
Brianna Wu is against this because of obvious reasons. People are going to buy a Revolution 60 out of pure curiosity, or like in my daughter's case,
and
who's
throw it in
5
the
years
trash.
old, My daughter saw that game and thought it was the coolest looking thing in the world. And I'm sitting here
That
going,
shows you how
actually,
shit
my
the game
daughter
is.
looked at one of the characters, and the first thing she said was, "It's Harley Quinn."
Oh man,
Harley
that is
Quinn.
good.
That's sad.
My daughter loves Harley Quinn.
Oh man.
No, Harley Quinn's cool though. She's a badass though.
But
The fact
the
that
thing
Brianna-
is
You're not gonna bring your daughter to see Suicide Squad, are you?
no, my wife will not let me, although I probably would because she has been seeing the pictures of Margot Robbie as Harley and she keeps begging me. And I'm like, I'm sorry, sweetheart. This movie's not going to be okay for you to see.
Yeah, just wait till you're 18 years old, sweetie.
No, let her. No, when she turns 15 or 14, she can see it.
You know what? I would probably let her see it at 12. It's
I'm not letting my sister date until she's like 60.
well,
You're not.
damn.
Good luck.
Damn,
Good
she's
luck
gonna
with
be
that,
old.
bro. Good luck. Good.
I have
fucking luck,
a
bro.
17-year-old sister, and I couldn't do that to her either. So I'm just saying it
It's
won't work, buddy. Good luck.
It's just like I was saying
You-
earlier. I felt bad about my son being 7 years old and seeing the trailer for Jurassic World, and he loves dinosaurs. And I gotta say, I'm sorry, son. I can't take you to see that because it's gonna scare the shit out of you.
Yeah, it is.
And I don't feel like dealing with your nightmares for the next 4 weeks.
Yeah, we were in that discussion about Jurassic World.
My son, I mean, my daughter, it took her like 2 weeks to get over an image of seeing Jason Voorhees walking onto the screen on
Yeah, well,
a
there's
Mortal
a difference
Kombat
between-
trailer.
But there's a difference between Jason Voorhees. Jason Voorhees is really realistic, whereas dinosaurs are dead.
Yeah, but you know, we're
It's
talking
a
about my
kid.
son.
We're
okay?
talking about it. We're talking
Just
about a
to
7-year-old
reinforce
kid.
the idea that they're dead.
Yeah,
Talking
Yeah,
about a
that's
7-year-old kid.
You
talking
can't-
show them the skeletons first if you want to have them watch a dinosaur movie. Show them the images of dinosaur skeletons before you.
This is the thing. When it comes to kids, man, you can sit down with your son, your 7-year-old son, your 5-year-old daughter, and say over and over, "This shit ain't real. It's all fiction. It's nothing to be afraid of. It's just
It's all
a movie."
make believe.
They are
Yes,
still gonna go to bed at night.
and dream it. Yeah.
You gonna recruit him into Gamergate too?
To eat.
No.
He's swung a machete at her. To get my
Yeah.
daughter to chill out about Jason Voorhees, because she saw the Mortal Kombat X trailer where he was in it. To get her to chill out, I had to go on YouTube and find clips of the guy playing Jason taking off his mask and laughing and giggling and having a good old time in front of the camera. I had
Yeah.
to find images of that so that she could understand. Jason
Yeah.
is just a character in a movie.
He's not
Yes.
real.
And
Yeah,
even
but
then,
how
she was
old
still
is your-
afraid.
Even
of
I
it.
had to
I
show
mean-
I had to show kids the Power Rangers thing.
Oh
The
yeah.
little you know those little PTA things about the real versus fake.
Yeah, I had to show stuff like that to my kids. I mean,
Yeah.
I've had to sit down and explain to my son after he watched a cartoon of Looney Tunes, all right, son, if you stick a rifle in your mouth, it's probably not going to be a good thing.
Yeah.
Or
You know,
if you,
I've had to sit there
or
and
if you
explain that
try
shit.
to, or if you try to drop an anvil from a high place, it won't just drop on them and they'll end up in a hole. No, you don't want
We
to.
have a joke.
super
We have
realistic.
we have a joke here in Europe because I mean, it's crazy in Europe. In America, you always have this do not try this at home warnings on several things, right?
Yeah.
And the crazy part of this is we make fun of this all the time in Europe. Here in Europe, kids are smart enough to know not to try this at home.
Well, you got to understand is in America, we're just like what they do in the military when they write safety regulations and stuff. They wouldn't have written the regulation or the law if it hadn't been for some moron somewhere who did it.
Florida.
That's why when you think about it, and you see people, you see the warning label on a toaster that says, "Warning: Do not bathe with toaster." It's
Yeah,
because
I mean,
some dumbass did it.
I'm looking at, like, when you order something from in a package and they have this, like, especially shoes or clothes, and they have this little, I don't know what they're called. They're like plastic pellets that suck up moisture.
Oh yeah, those things.
Yeah,
The
I love it when it says "Do not eat," especially when you order from the U.S. No shit, I wasn't planning on eating these fucking
I,
things,
I'm
but
gonna
thanks for
look.
letting me
I'm gonna
know.
tell you right now from personal experience. I mean, I don't know how much experience you guys have with little children. Because, like I
Oh,
said, I've got a
I
5-year-old
Yeah,
and a
but there's a no, no,
7-year-old.
no, 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 no,
They
no.
put
oh,
whatever
shut.
the fuck
Okay,
it is
Nurgle.
There's a
in their mouth.
difference. There's a difference between an adult and a small child. A small child is not able to read well. A 3-year-old is not able to read and understand that, hey, I probably shouldn't eat this. He's a 3-year-old. Of course, that has to do with parents' responsibility as well. But but I'm thinking about the whole ridiculous nature by selling a toaster and it says "Do not bathe with toaster." Is like, really? If you're 8 years old or even 10, you should be able to figure this out. It's
You,
like,
you,
no, it's probably not a good idea.
I've always
I thought,
tried to figure out why would you bathe with a toaster if you weren't trying to commit suicide. And the only thing I could think is you never know when you're taking a bath and you just gotta have some toast.
yeah.
You need to have that
You want
toast.
Oh,
those
man.
Pop
But
Tarts right
Yeah,
there.
get those Pop
can I
Tarts.
bring up another example? I
Go ahead,
mentioned
man.
this.
What's up? Yeah.
I mentioned this on an earlier stream. You have the Sonic cartoon, right? And you have Sonic warning people against warning children about not going into a blender, or no, not a blender, but what's it
Washing
called?
machine?
Washing machine. Yeah, it was going not to climb into a washing machine. And apparently, they actually dubbed this Sonic episode in Norwegian as well, and people were laughing their head. The kids were laughing at it. It was like, I'm not gonna climb in. I'm not gonna climb in a washing machine. I was babysitting 2 kids at one time, and I put on Sonic just for the hell of it because I was bored and I wanted to watch them. They liked it. They were like 8 and 7. These kids I was watching, and they thought it was funny. Why is he wanting us of climbing into the washing machine? You don't
Because
go into the
kids here
washing
in the
machine.
United States are stupid, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, kids
I was
here in
like,
the U.S. are stupid.
There's a lot of dumb kids that talk to strangers on the internet and think they're Twitch support. Look that up on YouTube. It exists.
Oh,
They
man,
heat
that
their
was
batteries
stupid.
in the microwave and
but
stuff.
but I love the fact that Sonic, the creators of the Sonic show, felt that kids climbing into a washing machine was such a national problem they had to address it at a children's show.
Yeah, don't climb in
I
the
mean,
washing machine.
oh America,
You know what?
your
I was
country.
watching a video from Barely Political. They were doing their post Kiev, the Kiev Awesome videos and stuff. They were doing this like post one, and someone says, "I read at a college, and there's like the student pamphlet that says no butt chugging like that, in college." It is.
Wait, what?
And, it's where you get it from you drink alcohol from a different area. I'm not going to go into the description of that, and they just said,
Well,
"You
I
have
mean,
Moron University."
as the only European here on this stream, I have to say my mind is really boggled by a lot of things that happen that are part of American culture. I mean, the whole idea with bacon and chocolate and the NASCAR food shit. I was like, yeah, this looks like a nice recipe for a heart attack. I was like, Jesus, you people have some really fucked up traditions in your country, and giving guns
Let
to
me tell you
and
something.
giving
There's
giving guns to 10-year-olds. I was like, yeah. was like-
there are some.
Actually-
all I have to say is, I started learning how to use a gun when I was 9 years old, or no, like I was 7 years old when I first learned how to use a gun. But the reason why my uncle did this was he wanted to say to me, "You never use a gun like that." He just says, "You never play around with guns. You never point them at anything." That's why we learn at a very young age how to handle guns.
Yeah,
the first time
gun safety's a big deal, man.
the
Yeah.
first time I ever fired a weapon, I fired a militarized assault rifle. That was the first time I didn't fire a weapon until I was 18, and I just been recruited into the army. That is when I first ever fired a weapon. But I get it. Why? I mean, because the U.S. have incredibly liberal gun laws to the point of insanity, from my perspective. You know,
Well, it
why the
does
fuck
now.
would you? Yeah, and it's crazy for somebody who is not from the U.S. to comprehend this, because I don't get it. I mean, the Second Amendment
The
thing, I think
reason
that's
why the
bullshit.
Second Amendment is around was originally to combat the British. It was so
Yeah.
that it could make it known that the British don't make you guys. The British try taking away your guns, but we won't like that. It was
Yeah, I know, I know, I know,
it
I
was
know, I know.
originally designed for
It
the
was
Yeah.
U.S.
designed in
to.
case the government became too corrupt and
Yes.
we needed an
Yeah, but
uprising.
listen,
That's what it was
listen.
designed for.
I had this argument. I had this argument with a guy who was pro gun, and he basically said to me, "Well, it's just stop in case the government decides to do something about it." You know, it's like, oh yeah, because Billy Bob and Ray Earl are gonna take over the government if they become corrupt.
Do not underestimate rednecks. You do
Do
not
not
know how
do not underestimate Billy Bob and Jed. Okay, do
Dude,
not.
I'm gonna tell you that now, man. Rednecks, they can make some genius shit work that should never fucking work, but it fucking works.
Yes.
We're talking
Yeah.
people that can replace the tire on their car with a shopping cart wheel, and that motherfucker goes great.
Oh man, I hear you, man. I know that because I live here. I've seen people here in Montana what they've used. It's just like, holy shit, dude. I see all the things they're using here in Montana, and it's just like, what the hell did you guys make? They make these, like, I call them Franken vehicles almost because of how
Dude,
messed up they are. But yeah, you don't underestimate the ingenuity of what an American can do with a vehicle. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I mean,
imagine,
these
imagine.
fools will take 3 cars and make 4 cars out of it.
That is actually the crazy part of this is, I mean, it's called, I mean, my point is simply that nobody could possibly hope to basically, unless you get the whole country with you, get to storm the government or basically
Yeah,
unle-
I'm not
you know,
getting
Yeah,
to,
into
I
that
agree
topic.
with you on that. I'm just saying that's what the law was originally designed for.
It was
Yeah, I
originally
mean-
designed for. No, I'll tell you guys what it's originally, because I looked it up just recently. They made the Second Amendment because it was also about starting up a militia. Back then, they didn't have a centralized military and stuff. Even up till 1812, it was still like a scattered bunch of militias and stuff like
Yeah,
that
that's
they
true,
could
too.
gather
But
together.
I
They
heard
would call upon a militia, and they grabbed their muskets or their rifles, and they would go out there and stuff. And you would have these militias training every now and then, but when an invasion force came and the army wasn't anywhere near, they'd gather the militia together. That's
yeah,
the
but you still have a militia now. That is the National Guard, and the National Guard takes orders from.
They take orders from the government as well. Well, that's also you got to remember too. Over here, we also have, now I don't know about over where you're at. We also have what's called the private militaries. You know,
Yeah.
like they're not called Blackwater anymore, but they were the most well
They
known
disbanded.
Blackwater
They,
or
they are now
PMCs, PMCs essentially.
private contract. Yeah.
private contract militaries. I mean, you have those as well, and so there you go. They don't
Yeah.
take orders from the government. They take orders from the highest bidder. You know, if they wanted to hire these guys to fucking go do something crazy, they can. And the government does utilize private contractor military too.
Yeah, but here's the idea. I was under the impression when it came to private military contractors, now this is international law. They have to abide by these laws. A private military contractor that is operating in the United States cannot accept contracts from fucking ISIS to do
No.
any damage. They
No, but
cannot.
I'm just
So much
saying.
that.
No, but yeah, it's funny how it works and stuff. How this whole situation
They
works. So
can
you can't say it.
accept private contracts from the UN. That is the only thing they can accept.
Yeah. Oh man, but that is pretty funny.
Because they do work inside and out in Africa sometimes, but it depends on the contract.
Because no military contract, because I mean like, yeah, you have the PMCs, but they're not going to go against the government because the government pays them a shit ton of money. And so they're going to be a part of the government too. I mean,
Yeah.
the whole idea here is that, I mean, just to get off this, it's such a weird, for
It's
me, I
weird
mean,
for Europeans. It really is, and I get it. It's incredibly weird for people of European origin because it's like we don't have freedom of access to like assault weaponry. We don't have access to semi to a lot of semi-automatics and stuff or
Right
handguns.
now, right now, Blackwater is no longer a
They never had
PMC.
been for a long time.
Now, well, technically now they are a security training service now.
Yeah, well, the reason behind that is because they had a lot of incidents and issues in the previous
Yeah,
cast about it.
especially in Iraq. I heard
Yeah.
some of the incidences.
Yeah.
Some of the guys wound up shooting up civilians or something like that because they felt threatened. And ultimately, they didn't go down for it. I don't think they got arrested or anything because technically, if you think about it, regardless of the fact that they were military vets, they were civilians in a hostile environment that I don't know. I remember how it went. I had a weapons
Yeah.
officer on my ship that explained the whole thing to me because we had a long conversation while I was on watch about the whole thing. And my weapons officer explained the whole thing to me. I was like, okay, that makes a lot of fucking sense now. But I don't know. Private militaries is just one thing. It's just I don't know. It just like Leon said, you know, European folks, you guys come from a different country. You guys have different laws and everything, and we have do things differently here. So it is a little strange to each other's culture. I thought it
Yeah,
was
but it's not.
strange when I found out
It's not.
most places over there had banned weapons as well. I thought it
Yeah.
was
But
strange to me
but
as
it's
well.
not. It's not. But the idea here is that weapons are not banned in Norway. I mean, there's tons of gun clubs in Norway who have all
Yeah,
kinds of
and I
weapons.
have to
Well,
say, that's why I say not everything is banned, but I'm just saying there's some things that are banned, like for instance, there's like for instance like assault weaponry. I don't think those are allowed in Norway. I mean, yes, they're allowed in the U.S., but they're not allowed in Norway. I know they're not. I know handguns. I'm not sure if handguns are allowed in England. I know, for an instance, shotguns are allowed in England. Double barrel shotguns are allowed because they use it for leisurely activity. Yeah,
yeah, but
I mean, the thing is I guess this sums up to it's just two different countries with two different sets of rules. Hey, look over here. We have laws that are still on the books that say whaling is illegal in Oklahoma. How the fuck will you go whaling in Oklahoma?
yes.
Alien? What?
Oh,
Whaling is
here's the
illegal in
Yeah.
Oklahoma.
okay, and here's the dumbest law out of all of them. You are not supposed to. This is a small town in California that says you're not allowed to detonate a nuclear device within city limits, or you'll be fined.
Who the fuck is gonna arrest your ass after doing that?
It's a
Well, I
lot
wanna-
to lie.
It's a,
I wanna.
here's
I
a,
wanna.
here's
wanna say
another
one-
one from another country. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I just want to say this. It's not exactly true because the United States you know, I don't have to tell you this, but I'm just saying it for my own sake. It's like it's comprised of many states, and all states have different laws. I mean, the death penalty is something that is seen by most Americans as uncivilized, while the more yeah.
Yeah,
Unless
it's
you're in
uncivil.
Texas, everybody.
No, but yeah, even around here, we're getting wary of it. Even here in Montana, which is just almost as conservative as Texas, it's starting to slowly get to saying the majority of death penalty cases should just be like maybe the severe ones where it involves children or something like that should be pushed, but the majority of them, it's like we're clogging it, and we're just thinking there's a lot of them. I'm saying like killing police officers or children or serial killers, yeah, they should, or terrorists, yeah, it should be pushed for those people. But it's getting to the point where it's like everybody is saying, I'm getting tired of it being pushed onto everybody and the innocent people getting executed. We're getting tired of that.
That's part of the problem, and not only that, you've got to remember how long somebody sits on death row in general, and they'll sit there till they're damn near dead of old age before they get executed. And you've got to think, our tax dollars are paying for that person to live. And he's
Yeah.
never getting executed. He keeps
The
having
question,
got countless
question.
ability to appeal his case.
But the question here, I mean, one of the things that I always found fascinating with the United States is that the justice system. I'm sorry, but I always felt the justice system in the United States is a fucking joke, because you have privatized prisons where judges are essentially being paid for how many people are locked up in that jail. I
Oh,
mean, the
don't.
Yes, that
corruption
is
is.
a
Okay,
very
you
fucked up
have
issue
you
too.
have me on that one as well, because I've seen judges that own private prisons send children to private juvenile halls for nothing that should have been just fine and stuff like that. A judge is being investigated for this.
Well,
So
the
yeah,
interesting part here is that I believe in the rule of law. I believe in the rule of law, and I hate lynchings. I hate even legal lynchings are the worst, because that is people using the law to basically commit to hang a person before he is actually convicted of anything. And
yes,
and now we're back to outrage culture again, because it's really boggles my mind a lot of things. I mean, it's not. I mean, there's a lot of states in the U.S. who have sensible laws in their states regarding a lot of things, but I'm also baffled to see it's like the whole world decided to move on a lot of issues, and you guys kind of lagged behind. You know, like
but
gays are able to marry. You know, fuck. We said we settled this shit back in the 70s. You know, it's like.
You know what, man? I agree with you on some of those, because especially the gay marriage thing. I don't understand why it's such a big fucking deal, but I know it has a lot to do with religious backing.
Yeah.
But it's, even though that's slowly starting to change more and more, and things are
Oh,
starting
yeah.
to progress more and more. So it's just a matter of time. Look at the legalization of marijuana over here.
yeah,
We're
Congrats,
slowly
by the way.
seeing more and more states legalizing it for recreational use, and those states that have done that,
I'm gonna have
they're
to say I
banking
disagree with
off
a
of the
lot of that.
taxes on it. What's up, dude?
I'm gonna have to say I disagree with a lot of that. I'm very conservative about that kind of crap.
What, marijuana?
Even water, I'm very conservative.
Marijuana.
Well, can I ask you a question, Blake? And I'm not going to get mad or anything. I just want to ask, out of curiosity, why are you concerned about it specifically? Is it religious reasons?
Why am
Well,
I?
usually when I see people about it, they want the marriage aspect of it, rather than because marriage is pretty much, it's all governmental anyway. So why even have the marriage part of it? Why not just have something else without the marriage part?
I always said that
The
too.
religion part. Like, I mean, just have the same benefits. I mean, it pleases both people.
I don't know. I'm not sure about that. All I say is, because I always admit to being a Christian. I can get cut off at this point, but I say it like this. I always say, Bible always says, yeah, in Deuteronomy it does say if you sleep with a man, you should be stoned to death. But
No, sleep
if
with a man, commit adultery with a man or a woman.
yeah,
It does
but I'm
not
just
say
saying, it like
just
this.
man.
No, but I'm just saying, like, this man lays with another man type of thing. You get stoned to death type of rule in Deuteronomy, but it was overturned during the time of Christ. I'm just putting this out there to every Christian out there. Jesus overturned those rules. No, he didn't really. He still says don't do that kind of stuff, but he says you should not be stoned to death for that. He says
All I have to say,
not everybody has to be circumcised. He said stuff like
all,
that, and to all you Christians out there that are saying, "Oh, gays should be killed and stuff," you are a bunch of freaking jackasses.
And Leon Gunsteel's subscribers list just went down 10 people.
Go right ahead. I don't give
No,
a shit.
I just
You
wanted to
drop subscribers for that. You're a plague if you.
I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean,
people should be killed.
I just wanted to say one thing. I mean, I'm also a conservative. I am a staunch conservative, but conservatism has nothing to do with religion, and that is something America needs to learn. Being a conservative politician has nothing to do with religion.
No,
And you
it
can be
doesn't.
you can be a supporter of gay marriage and still be a conservative. You
Yeah.
can be against guns and still be a conservative here, because the whole idea, all the people who call themselves conservatives in the US that I've met have been Obama haters because he's black, have been pro-gun, pro all these kinds of nonsense
Not
issues that I
all.
don't.
Not all of them hate Obama because he's black. A lot of them hate Obama because he's spineless.
Because he sucks.
Because
No,
he
it's fine.
sucks at
Even
his job,
even
yeah.
liberals hate him. Like,
Yeah, but these are the
Yeah,
same. But
even
these,
their,
but
his own
what,
kind don't like
but
him.
what frustrates me, I mean, I get Obama, I get the critique against Obama because I agree with that. But I wanted to say, a lot of the conservatives that I met from the U.S., they go on and on and on about how bad Obama is, and they talk about stuff that he has done wrong. But the crazy part of this is a lot of the stuff where the hell were these people when George Bush was leading the country into a financial ruin?
yeah, but
A
that's
lot
the
of,
thing.
a lot of,
A lot of people that criticize Bush voted for Obama when Obama was Bush on crack.
the thing that's funny about people that voted for Obama is people actually believed, some people, I'm just using this as an example, some people believed that Obama was going to help people in the hood or something like that. I'm not joking about that bullshit. I'm not
Yeah,
joking.
We've actually had. I'm not even gonna lie about that. I knew quite a few black people that voted for Obama simply because he
I
was
voted for
black.
Romney because he's
Me?
white and I'm white.
I
Duh.
don't vote. I don't vote.
I mean, I'm just saying
swear-
that was an aspect of that
swear to
election.
Okay,
Christ.
guys.
How
guys.
can you? How?
I think
I
we're
swear
getting
to
off
Christ.
topic.
I
Okay,
just
we
wanted
are
to say.
way off topic.
I just
Yeah,
wanted to
we're-
say one more thing. One more thing. I just want to say one more thing. How on earth could you look at Mitt Romney, his flip-flopping, and vote for that man?
I didn't vote for
Honestly.
I didn't vote for him.
I don't do politics.
Yeah. Okay. One thing I have to say like this. We're done with this topic.
Yeah, I think we're getting a little too political around here.
We've beaten this topic to death. One last thing I want to do before I close up the stream, because I'm gonna have to close this up pretty soon. One last topic I want to cover is this. Someone asked me, "What do you guys think of Adam and Morgan getting back together to do the Bethesda
Well,
conference?"
are they going to get along when Adam decides not to share his cocaine?
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I see this being disastrous for many ways.
Yeah.
Morgan.
Adam is gonna be this nut job. He's gonna sit down and he's gonna straight up publicly dox Morgan Webb, and you know.
Yes, he is. Oh.
Adam, I'm gonna be
Morgan
surprised.
Webb. Twitter. I'm all for Morgan Webb being there because seriously.
No, Morgan Webb, no, she's cool though. Adam is a douchebag. Okay,
You know
he's
what?
probably-
She actually was the smart one to stay out of Gamergate.
Yeah,
She
she
was.
did.
and that's why people love you, Morgan Webb. But Adam, no, fuck you, man. Go back.
If you're hearing this, Morgan, I want to carry your babies, please.
When I was a teenager, when G4 was around, I was like a late teenager.
I was an early
Morgan
teen.
Webb was what got me to sit there and watch that shit.
Fuck to the yes. No, that's true.
I remember Morgan Webb. It was like one of the greatest things. I was like 13 when I first saw X Play. It's like first came out. I was around like 12, 13. I think it was like 2002. So I was like 12 years old when it first started. I'm like, whoa, oh no, there's like a middle-aged dude and a hot chick like that. And that's what I first thought in my head. And then I keep watching it. It's like I keep watching it. It's like, whoa, Morgan Webb knows more about video games than Adam does.
Mr. Gunsteel,
Leon,
just
I gotta
admit
take
it.
off, man.
Okay,
see
man,
you
you have
later,
it going,
Morgan,
dude.
guys.
It's good talking to you.
Yeah, you as well, man.
Head.
What were you saying? Just admit what?
Now, Mr. Gunsteel, just admit it. You were 13 years old, and the day you saw Morgan Webb on X-Play, or was it X-Play? Was that the name of the show? I can't
Yeah,
remember.
it was X-Play.
It was X-Play?
Objection. How could the prosecutor make a reliable statement if he doesn't even know what X-Play is?
I know. I just didn't remember.
No,
the
but
name of the
it
show,
used to be
so.
called. It used to be called like GameSpot TV, and then they changed it to X-Play. Yeah.
It's been forever since I've seen that.
G4.
But I'm going to say it. Just admit it. The day you saw Morgan Webb on that TV show was the day your balls dropped.
I'm not going to comment on that one.
I never really had a problem with that show, but the only thing I had an issue with, he always tends to do the whole joke about the camera angles are so bad.
I mean, yes, there were some funny, hilarious sketches with Adam Says. So, like when they tried to do the camera angle thing, because let me tell you something. Even I hated the camera angles on. Even I hated the camera angles on X-Play, or no, on those old games where it's like you're trying to walk into one room and then you enter in an area and the controls switch around and stuff, and you have to stop and stuff and move again. I hated those too. And you're trying to you're trying to find a key card or something like that or something, and it's like right behind the camera and the camera can't move and stuff like that. That was stupid back then. It really was stupid. I don't know what kind of meth they were taking when they did that idea. Just like
Same
the
one
creators, it maybe be the same creators as the ones from Katamari Damacy. Remember that game?
Oh my god, that was so weird.
The creators of that show were obviously on a lot of heavy acid. I mean, excuse me, for Katamari. They were on some real crazy shit.
X-Play created some of the most memorable sketches ever. It was more like a sketch comedy show besides regular show. Like they had like characters like Drunk Link, the Drunk Rider, Johnny Extreme, Ratty. Remember all those characters that made the show hilarious? The guy from Resident Evil 4, this businessman, the shop dude who opens his shit like, "What are you buying?" Yes, and they did that joke. That was a classic, and it's just like you're just watching this. It's like,
Is that all, stranger?
yeah.
I happen to carry 5 rocket launchers in my back pocket. Would you like to take a look at it?
Yes, but that's what X-Play used to be. It used to be not only about video games and stuff, and you're seeing if the game was good or bad, but because they were spot on. They were spot on about it back then. But with X-Play, they were spot on with the reviews back then. But now it's like this is before they became social justice. Like Adam became social justice. They were spot on. And
SJW.
yeah, but before this, they were just like all a bunch of fun-loving gamers that were having fun on TV and stuff, and it was kind of like it was the early internet age almost. It was like the beginning. It was like the time where internet age was at its golden era and stuff like that. And G4ia, that award show they had every year, was a huge party that they did. And yeah, it was like every gamer had fun. And then after like 2005, 2006, X-Play started.
Every gamer down in Gameville had fun, but the social justice warriors in California had none.
No, but yeah,
that sounds like a Dr. Seuss book.
It is.
But you know what? It was a blast to be a gamer back then. It really was. That was like the golden age of gaming of the 3D era. It was back in 2005 and 2006 because they had different games and stuff. All the gaming,
DLC.
THQ was making games. Konami was making good games. Namco was making good games. They all were making good games, and it wasn't like everybody was screwing up.
No DRM.
No DRM, yeah. And it was offline for the most part. It was offline for the most part. Almost all the games had an offline single-player mode. Almost all of them. 99% of the games were offline that were on the consoles.
And Diablo 2 was awesome back then.
Yes. And you didn't have always online bullshit games. And then the 7th gen hit, and early on it was still like the 6th generation with the PlayStation 2 and stuff, with the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, where we're still like, they were still in the mindset of we have to make offline games and stuff like that for people to enjoy them. And it's like people are like, and then Call of Duty came around. It's like, oh, they love Call of Duty just for the multiplayer. Let's make games more multiplayer. So everybody, when you kept saying, I'm just in it for the multiplayer, guess what? That type of attitude and that type of mindset is what slowly drove a lot of the games to always online. We're getting more and more always online games. Battlefront, which had an amazing single player mode in it.
Well, you can't argue with the fact that they're making money, man. I mean, and they're
Yeah,
Yeah.
gonna
and
make whatever
that's
makes money.
yeah, and it's getting to the point where it's like people are gonna have enough with this and stuff, and we're not gonna buy it anymore. These idiots that keep buying into this keep saying, "Oh, yeah, I love online mode too. I love multiplayer online and stuff like that. It's actually pretty fun to do on the PC, not on the consoles. Consoles are something I like to play on my own. I love playing multiplayer on the PC, and that's just me being truthful.
But let's face it,
Multiplayer and single player are fun on the PC. Single player is only good on the consoles. Or no, only single player is good on the console, not multiplayer, in my personal opinion.
well, let's face it though, man. I mean, if it's selling, it's selling. We can't really do much about it.
Yeah,
Granted, they say that Call of Duty loses more and more sales every year. They release a new one. I don't know.
I
Black
say
Ops 3
rent
might
it.
gain a lot of sales because I've heard a lot of people are very excited and we're waiting
But
for
the
another
one thing
Black
about Call of
Ops.
Duty is they do a single player though. EA is making all their games multiplayer and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
that's
Need
true.
for Speed, freaking Need
EA
for
EA
Speed is
even
online,
pushed
always
the
online.
DRM shit with Spore, and that's
Yeah,
the most
but
pirated game of all.
Yeah, but
I
Need
own
for
a legal
Speed,
copy of that
yeah,
one.
but Need for Speed out of all games is going to be always online now. It was a majority from the last game, from the last one, Rivals, but now it's going to be like you need to have an internet connection to play this, but the features are worth it. It's like they're trying to instill that into our heads. It's like they're trying to condition us to saying we have to have it always online. I'm tired of this always online bullshit.
But the great
This is
thing
why I
about
built a gaming PC is because of this.
this, but you know what though? This is what was so great about the release of SimCity. They
Yeah.
tried to pull this always online horse shit with it.
Oh
And
yeah.
then
I didn't
people
buy it
prove you
until
don't need to be online. The only reason to be
I
online is to save.
I didn't buy the game until I didn't buy this game until they introduced single player mode. I
Diablo
was waiting.
3. You know when Diablo 3, yeah, they sold like fucking crazy, but how much backlash did they get for making that always online?
Yeah,
Order
they even
302, Order
improved
30, or no, Error
in
302,
Diablo
Error
3 though.
302, Error 302. I remember the Francis video
You
on
know
that.
what pissed me off,
Error
what I did not
32.
get about Diablo 3 on its release date, is how in the because they came out and said we just didn't expect such a big amount of people. I'm like, dude, Diablo 2 was ginormous. You had that was one of the biggest games of its times, and people are still playing it. You're
Well,
still
Diablo
seeing that game.
well, Diablo has had its cult following though for quite a long time, so they were expected to sell lots of units for Diablo 3.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
but they came out and said we didn't expect such a large amount of people to buy this. I'm like, dude, you're Blizzard. Everybody knows whenever Blizzard makes a game, it's usually got quality tagged on top of it. Then Diablo is a huge franchise that people have been begging and waiting over 11 years to see a sequel to, and you release this thinking nobody's gonna want to play it.
yeah, all I
Day
have to
one,
say is
there
this:
were motherfuckers sitting there
they're screwing
anxiously
them, that they're
waiting to
shooting
click
themselves
the
in the
button.
foot. And I love how Boogie said it. It says error 32, error 30. Shouldn't this be error number one? You can't start the effing game.
I
And I remember that. That's still one of the best Francis videos I've ever seen. And the reason
Oh
why it's
yeah.
so true, it shows my rage when I play games and stuff. When I play always online games, I never play always online games anymore. Destiny was the final straw for me with always online games.
Now, I did a lot of research behind Diablo 3 back in the day. This is when I started to get really into gaming media and started reading more about journalism and everything. And I was actually I remember William Usher was a big proponent against Diablo 3 when it came out.
Mhm.
And I emailed him and me and him started chit chatting back and forth, and I started to send him all sorts of information I would find on Diablo 3.
Mhm.
And this everything looked around and led to was that Diablo 3 didn't need to be always online. It was pointless to do it. Their
Mhm.
excuse was completely stupid, and nobody gave a shit about their excuse. Because their excuse was, oh, we did it so that you can move your single-player character to the online world. No
No,
one
that's
gave a fuck
bullshit.
about that shit.
We don't like always. We don't like all online when it comes to these games. You play these RPGs and stuff. You don't want online. You know why you don't want online? Because someone's gonna f up your single player experience. Your
Because
experience.
the thing is that even when you try to get online, there's gonna be a problem. Because what if the
Exactly.
person can't get online? Because they want to
Exactly.
play it on single player mode and they can't get online with that game. And it's like they basically ignored everything that people wanted in the game because they forgot what it meant back then when Diablo was popular. Because people used to play that game offline and and just try to learn how to get how do you get this skill, how do you play this and it was kind of like, you know what, fuck it.
Let's face it.
And
Sorry, JT. Let's face it.
go ahead.
The game, was not a very resource-heavy game,
No, it
and it
wasn't.
could run on almost any It could run on most laptops. And
Yeah.
I know coming from the military, when I was in the Navy, that was a popular game for everybody to play on their laptop during a deployment was Diablo 2. And a lot of the military were very pissed off because
Especially the
they couldn't play
expansions.
this game that they've been waiting 11 plus years for. And it also got what it boiled down to was this. They saw a
Is it
market.
still always online?
Yes,
I
it
haven't
is.
checked. Oh my
The
god.
PC version is still always online. Now, my buddy, I will admit to you, with the state of Diablo 3 now, because of the console versions and where it is now, it is a good game now compared to when it came out. But whenever the game came out, you could tell what they were doing when they were trying to tap into the market. You guys are familiar with the what was it called? It's like a black market for items and shit. You see it in World of Warcraft all the time. People selling their accounts and selling a pair of boots for fucking God knows how much. You meet them, you buy it
Yeah.
off eBay, and then you meet them in the game and get the item from them.
JT Michael Jordan, I guess, is on Twitch.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wants me to
Okay.
play.
I think we should. I think we're getting
I'm a-
way too far, and this. I think I should shut the stream down right now.
Well, I'm about to get off here right now, but what I was gonna go ahead and just
Go ahead.
say,
One final
my
thought.
final thought I had to say about the whole D3 thing is when they tried to legitimize the item selling thing with the auction house and the real money thing, that's why it was always online. They tried to hide that and say it wasn't, but that is exactly why it was always online. They were doing their hardest to force people into using that market. That's why whenever there weren't no loot drops in the game and they were having problems with getting items in the game, that's why. It's because they wanted to make sure that if you needed or wanted this weapon to make your character better, you're going to have to go and try to get it on the auction house. And again, why would you put the Own Your Face sword on the gold auction house when you could make $500 on the real money auction house? There were people that were seriously paying their monthly bills because they would play 8 hours a day of Diablo 3.
Yeah, and they were charging like $200 for one piece of weaponry, and I'm like, fuck, man.
The
And then-
game.
Gosh dang, dude.
That's
Yeah.
why I don't
That's
like
scary.
these games anymore. That's why I don't like always online anymore. It's because people are charging out of the ass for these expensive games and for these games, these stupid, piddly little items and stuff. I seen it with RuneScape just recently. People would try to sell accounts on RuneScape like level 100 account for $200 or something like that. You don't have to do anything. All you have to do is just take this account and do it like that. I've seen this on eBay so many times.
And did you notice though, when Diablo 3 came and when they released it on consoles, people started picking it up more.
Yeah.
And then whenever they closed the auction houses, because I think I want to say the gold one's probably still there. I don't know. But when they closed the real money part, how suddenly better the game had gotten, and people started to enjoy it again finally, and people started having fun with it because now they weren't struggling to get items. They weren't feeling force-fed a option they didn't want to partake in. And then what happened especially was the market got flooded with people that were gold farming and using bot after bot after bot after bot.
And plus
And
it
then
was
accounts
easy
were
for
getting
them
hacked
too.
left and right.
It got too easy too, because I remembered a video of a guy telling me, explaining that Diablo was getting really easy.
Yes, it was so easy. And then they capped you at what, like level 70?
Yeah,
No, they capped you originally, I think, at level 50. I don't remember. But they
60.
capped you. Was it 60? They
Yeah,
capped you at a level.
actually
And
30, and then 60, and then
yeah, they kept raising it. It's been forever since I've read all the information, but my favorite thing about it was the design of the game was, okay, you picked your class, but you can't do anything outside of your class. You had all these other skills that you could switch back and forth for. You didn't have to worry about leveling them up. In your stats, you couldn't level your stats the way you wanted. They leveled us per your class. It was easy mode, and it was designed to say, okay, if you want to make a character that has really good strength, that's not a barbarian, you're going to have to get an item that raises your strength.
Yep.
And that's how it was designed. It was a complete money-making scheme. There's a reason why it was almost banned in Korea when it came out, and the reason it was almost banned was because it violated gambling laws there. It was essentially a online slot machine.
Okay. All right. I think
yeah, because
stream has
people
gone
were
on.
easily getting
Okay,
they were
guys. All right. I think the stream's gone on long enough.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, all
The
right.
thing was that whole thing was it was too
Okay.
easy for people to get
Diablo
items.
tried screwing people out of money. I get it.
Yeah, I know, I
I
know,
get it.
I know.
All right.
Because people were too easily getting levels on that game, and plus they were trying to, sell it, and people that were higher level were taking advantage of the situation.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyway,
So
I gotta go myself.
okay. I'm gonna close the stream now, guys.
All right.
Final
Good night.
goodbyes, everybody.
Later.
Never played Diablo. I think it sucks.
Yeah.
Okay, I am being your host, Leon Gunstill, with Nurgle, SD Zamaron, JT, and Blake, and Norwegian guy who was on here too. And we are checking out. See you guys later.